to this game of Voidheart Symphony run as part of GauntletCon 2019. I am Jay Isles, she, her, your GM, and with me I have a whole bunch of lovely players. Would you folks like to introduce yourselves? Can go along the top and then along bottom, or not if you know.
I guess I'm at the top if it's showing me where the same place as everyone else. Ari, he, him. I've been with the Gauntlet since March 2018, and I'm very excited to play today.
Sam
Zeitlin, he. I have been on a gaming hiatus for the past few months, and looking forward to GauntletCon.
Excellent. Scott?
Scott, he, him. I've been playing with the Gauntlet since March 2019. This is my first GauntletCon. I'm very excited.
Excellent. Glad to have you here. And Simon?
I'm Simon, he, him. I have been with the Gauntlet from, I think, beginning of 2018. And I've also been on a small hiatus for the past few months.
Well, I'm glad that we're all back here for this. Rhapsody of Blood is my... No, sorry, wrong game. Voidheart Symphony is my in-development game about people in a modern city who've uncovered darkness and an evil, shadowy nega dimension, empowering the worst and meanest tyrants in their day-to-day life. You are a group of rebels who have spotted these strands working through their city, empowering the worst and meanest to cause trouble and make everyone's lives a bit shittier. And you are friends, you have each other's back, various people in this world. So the first thing to do is work out who exactly you are. So we had a bit of discussion about what playbooks people were interested in. Sam, you're interested in the authority, right?
That is correct.
Yep. Who else had a strong preference?
I was going for the Heretic.
Excellent.
And the Harlequin here.
Okay. And Ari, what are you interested in?
And the Watcher.
Watcher. Cool. So if you've all got your playbooks up, I do have a character keeper, which I should have posted before, and I will post now. It's in the private chat. Actually, I don't know if is that a proper sharing link. That might not be a proper sharing link. I'll just get that.
Access denied.
Yep, there we go. That was the bad link. So here we go. Here we go. Try that one.
So the first enemy we have to beat is the computer authority that doesn't allow us to have our character.
Yep, that sounds about right.
I can't believe that StreamYard doesn't make links into links.
Oh, does it not?
Why is this happening to us?
I just copy pasted it. It seems to be working.
Yeah,
there
it's just a little things.
Yeah. It's beta, you know.
Does anyone know if there's a keyboard shortcut for mute unmute?
I do not.
I've been mouse clicking it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once I've clicked it, I use space, but as soon as you click somewhere else, it doesn't work anymore.
Okay, I see. Yeah, you can mute yourself with the mouse click and unmute by hitting space.
Oh, that's cool.
And you can mute yourself by hitting space.
Oh, wait, yeah, I got it flipped the other way. Yeah.
Glorious. All right, point
Okay, anyway, perfect. So everyone want to claim a colored column in this? And write your name in it if possible. That's it. Playbooks. Oh, should just do the text wrap thing, otherwise things will go very wrong. Text wrap. There we go. Okay. So first things to do is pick the particulars for your character. Things like appearance, pronouns, what sort of clothes you normally wear, how old you are, that sort of thing. It should be listed on the reverse side of your playbook.
I have a hard time picturing what the distress uniform is.
Oh, as in ripped, torn, worn out, that sort of thing.
Okay.
Distressed jeans are the jeans that you see on the rack with anything like
Okay.
Was
Okay. I
it-
see.
Yeah.
Your uniform could also be depressed, so there's that.
Yeah. It's not quite that sort of level of what's the word, magical realism by default, but oh, and I know it's the most difficult part of character creation, but if you have an idea for a name, do put that down as well.
No.
Okay. So, yeah, it looks like we have a few done. Ari, do you want to describe Trin to us?
Sure. Trin is ambiguous gender, drab camouflage, shiny glasses, maybe kind of like big oversized sunglasses, and they are an adult.
Okay, cool. And Sam, tell us about Benjamin Green.
Benjamin Green is a black man in his early 60s in kind of like street clothes and old baseball cap. Got gray stubble.
Cool. Scott, what's Frankie like?
Frankie is of ambiguous gender and is usually insistent if somebody calls they a he or she that they not do that. They tend to wear weird clothing, even for teenagers. The fashion today isn't the kind of bright, splotchy colors that they tend to wear. And also, as I said earlier, a teenager.
Okay, cool. And Simon, tell us about Daniel Jones.
Right, Daniel Jones is a young adult, but like the eternally in school and university, but keeps changing major and never really gets anything done. So he doesn't. Okay, I'm really sorry about the description. As you can tell, I'm not an English speaker. Others
take your time.
So he's unkempt. He's unkempt, like always five o'clock shadow, and doesn't really care about his appearance. Just he has normal student clothes, but they are worn because it doesn't change them very often.
Makes sense. All right, so these are our people, and they have a history with each other, and something that each of them draws from the group. So I'd like you to pick one of your three options for what the crew means to you. Yeah. And if you write that next to crew in your tracker. And we can work through that, or I can answer any questions that you have about that and what that means, as you desire.
I just want to check in and make sure I'm doing this correctly. So where it says subject, crew, is that where I put sun, or is it under Arcana?
Under Arcana, because the subject of the bond is the crew, and it is themed around the sun.
Okay, and where do I put, for example, for me, it's perception, straightforwardness, and vision. Where does that go?
That just is there to tell you what it means. I'm currently putting together a thing where you'll actually be able to dump the mechanics bits of that.
Gotcha. So it's sort of like fictional stuff.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
So what this is what the crew means to you personally. So for the sun, the crew is a path towards you getting insight into the world, into what is around, helps you be sort of straightforward and move forward in life.
Okay, that sounds good.
Cool. So we have the sun, the tower, the fool, and then whatever the authority picks up. Would you like me to talk through your options, or are you happy just...
Sure, you can talk to those options.
Okay. So, yes, basically, either you take the Emperor, in which case you are something of a leader of the group. You provide it, you get a sense of structure from it. You get people that you can sort of look over and cultivate. If it's justice, the crew is a way for you to extract justice from people, or win justice for people. And if it's the Hierophant, the crew is a way for you to learn things about the world and pass on your spiritual wisdom.
I'll take the Hierophant.
Okay, cool. So each of those comes with a question for you to ask the other players. So let's start with Simon. For Daniel, what's the question for the tower?
All right. So, which of you helped me put my life back together? The tower is upheaval, hard times, and transformation. So I can see the crew as being something that is a pain in my ass, but it's something I need to bring my life forward.
That might be me. So my concept for this character, based on someone I met recently, is this guy runs a nonprofit that helps people re-enter society after prison, and this is in the form of like essentially like urban agriculture.
Ah,
Okay, cool.
that's cool. So what was it that pulled your life apart? Was it prison, Simon, or something else?
Well, that could be fun.
Yeah?
Yeah, sure. Let's go with that one. Probably. I was guessing my guy could be good with computers, so maybe he went to prison for hacking the wrong site or something like that.
That's cool.
Some computer-related crime.
Cool. All right. So then, Scott, what's your question for the fool?
Mine is, which of you did I believe in when no one else would?
Yeah, that's a nice sort of pair. Any volunteers?
I think I'm going to go with that one.
Okay, talk us through the situation there.
I think Trin was the child of a diplomat who traveled a lot, saw the world, and there were some expectations put on their shoulders. And then as they developed into adulthood, there was a disparity between them and their family. And I was basically in financial, ruin. I was on my own, a lot of things I depended on. And your character is the one who helped me kind of like see a path forward. And, not only to help me to fully develop my identity, but also to become independent of my family.
Excellent.
All right.
Okay. All right, Trin, what's your question for the sun?
Okay, my question is, which of you found fortune through my advice?
Ooh, nice.
So my character is sort of a librarian,
Okay,
but they
cool.
also have a lot of experience with hacking.
All right, then it could be me. Even if going to prison was not very fortunate afterwards, but still a good part of my life.
Just
Okay.
a few mouse clicks and there you go.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Who haven't I done yet?
I believe that is me.
Yes, it is you. Go for it.
Which of you regularly comes to me for advice?
That'll be Frankie.
Okay. Cool. What about?
Frankie's just recently kind of dropped out of school and has been struggling at home and also looking for a job and trying to start life on their own.
Mm-hmm.
And what's the character name again? I'm sorry, Daniel. Daniel has been really helpful.
Benjamin, actually.
Benjamin.
Oop, sorry, I was looking at the wrong column. Benjamin has been exceptionally helpful in that way to me.
Cool.
Makes sense.
I'm just copy pasting moves across, because each of these covenants, which are at rank 1 to begin with, give you abilities that you can use in the city, in the weird nether realm of the castle, as well as something that triggers when anyone hangs out with you and spends time with you. So I am just sorting this out, and then it will wrap round, and don't need to pay great amounts of attention to that at the moment, but it might become relevant. Text wrapping. Hey, that is not what I intended. Sorry about this. It's something of a work in progress, character keeper. So, right. So then, you are people who have become at least somewhat aware of the darkness haunting this city, of the fact that sometimes people who make their living in a way that hurts others, or seeks their own enrichment over others' benefit, get an attachment from a shadowy other realm, the void, the castle, and it'll latch onto them, and it'll feed them more and more power, and it'll grow and grow their evil and darkness, giving them not just coincidental bonuses here and there, but occasionally supernatural powers. But it'll also spawn it'll also open up a pathway to the castle, to the realm of darkness near them, that will be aspected to them, act according to their will. And it's there that people such as yourself can dive in, risk life and limb to try and steal some of that power, bring the person low, and, well, help improve your city and your own lives in the process. So, today's issue is you are all people in the same city, of course, the same neighborhood of the same city. I'm thinking somewhere vaguely East Coasty, New Yorkish. And indeed, you're all people who in your mundane lives, actually, let's do mundane lives first. That seems like the best option at the moment. It's not quite standard because I'm not running the standard setup for one shot, but yes. So the next thing I'd like you to do is pick a role, a thing you do in your mundane day-to-day life. Pick this according to the age sort of sense that you picked for your character. Delinquents tend to be young, traitors tend to be old, but you can pick as appropriate. This will govern what you can do to heal and recover a bit, and also govern just what people will generally expect from you in your day-to-day life.
Mine kind of picked itself as the dropout.
Nice.
Mine is the politician. This guy doesn't hold elected office or anything like that, although he may have tried to run for city council or something in the past. But he's a person of importance in the community. He knows the people who are the sort of city level politicians, and he has his relationships, positive and negative, with them. And I think he also writes like a column in like a local paper or something.
Okay, that's cool. Which goes together nicely with Daniel's role, the whistleblower.
Yeah.
Excellent. And drop out. And what do you reckon, Sam? Oh, you got politician. Politician, of course, yes. Which is also a traitor role. Nice.
The traitor is just, those are basically like age categories, is that right?
Yeah, well, it's basically how the general systems, the all-pervading systems of the castle would view your character.
I see.
Whether you're a delinquent who's just making trouble, or a prodigal who really needs to grow up and buy into the way of the world, or a traitor who has already benefited hugely from systems and is like biting the hand that feeds them by rebelling against them.
Okay.
Yes, so
I
politician.
guess it would make more sense that I go prodigal.
Well, up to you. Up to you.
But I really like more the whistleblower.
Yeah, that's fine. That tells me that you were quite well established before the hacking, etc., that sent you to prison for a while.
Were you like a national security leaker or something?
Something like that.
Excellent.
I went with prodigal and a hacker.
Excellent.
When you get a client the data access they want, refresh heat.
Yes. Cool. Okay. All right. And yeah, so then there's your trouble gauges. So in the mundane life stage, your ability to act is dependent on how well you can avoid the hostile pressures of the castle upon you, which are governed by 5 different gauges of nasty things. There's blood, which is your health and mental well-being. Lack, which is how well you can provide for yourself in housing and food and all that sort of thing. Infamy, which is how much people in general will respect you and pay attention to you. Heat, which is how much hostile elements are aware of your actions. And fealty, which is how much your mental processes follow the lines of the castle in terms of survival of the fittest, predator and prey, what benefits you most, leader and follower, that sort of thing. So your role will give you 1 tick in one of those, and then your playbook will tell you to mark 2 ticks in 2 and 3 in the rest. So you should end up with either 2 and then 3s, or 2, 2, 3, 3, 4. And this is just at character start. You can obviously do things to heal up or suffer worse as things go by. And the higher it is, the worse it is for you.
So these aren't maximums or minimums, they're just our
No,
current.
they're just current starting state.
Got it.
Cool. So we don't have to touch this. It's set up, ready to go.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay. So, oh yeah. I need to politician. All right. So 2 ticks in infamy, and 3, 3, 4. Okay. So
In a normal game, this is where you then sort of pick out people that you know in the surrounding area. But I have prepared a few, which you can find over in the Covenants tab. And I do need to name them, which I will get around to doing now. So going across the top, there's the sort of relationship that you might have with them and details of them. And I will fill in details later. As you might notice, these are all centered around a particular station, a particular metro station that you all use as part of your day-to-day life. If you want to go around and pick one, there will be one left over. That's fine.
I'm inclined to take the fellow old man if no one else is.
Sounds good.
My first impulse is Donald Nelson, if no one else is going to take that one.
I call dibs on the barista because coffee.
I'll take Alice.
Okay. Okay. Then do you want to put them across? So you have so for example, Trin would have a rank 1 star covenant with Donald. No, yes.
What rank is our crew covenant? 1?
1. All right. So set up the situation then. These are all people that you know in your day-to-day life, commuting from or just living in this city from this particular station. Let's say, I can't remember what metro stations tend to be called. Let's say, I don't know, Clay Hill North. These are all people that you know and see regularly because you're a regular rider of the trains. And there is something starting to go wrong in this place. You can sense that the ambience of this place is changing. I mean, obviously, underground stations are kind of a little grimy at the best of times, but the shadows are lengthening. There are more and more sort of disused little sort of corridors that you never noticed before, with flickering lights and janitors' carts half pulled across them, blocking them. And you notice people sort of ducking their heads low and walking quickly through this place. And there is one person who is at the center of all of this. There is a new transport police officer who has made this place his home, his staging ground. A Sergeant Carter who has arrived recently, and you can link to the change in tone here. So, going to ask a few final questions. So, Trin, who did you see this man hurt from the particular people you've listed here? Why were you powerless to stop him?
Let's say it was a, I don't know what the official title is, but the folks who basically administer to the gates, properly functioning, I guess like a mechanic.
Yeah.
So one or two of the gates were inoperable, and there was a lot of commotion because people were squeezed through just a single, space, and the cop was, shouting at this person and didn't hit them, but kind of like got physical. And there was nothing I could do because of the physical space. The crowds were blocking me, but I could see what was happening.
All right, cool. Daniel, how did you realize there was more to this man's cruelty than meets the eye?
I'm not sure. I think we just heard rumors while drinking coffee at a station or things like that. Some that people, not people, but I guess some. Can I say this? Members, not members, crew members of the employees of the station. Some of them stopped coming to work to get all together, and nobody was sure why.
Okay, interesting. And have you been able to ascertain if these people are actually still around and just aren't going to work, or have they disappeared?
I was not.
Okay, interesting. Frankie, who have you seen him going after now, making life harder and harder for? And why is it really important that you protect this person?
And should I pick from the context here or just add to the story?
You can pick from them or you can add. It's entirely up to you.
I'm going to pick, he's been going after the homeless folks who tend to, play instruments like Donald, but other folks just in this station and stations in general. And I want to protect them. Just that's wrong. I mean, they're as down and out as it can possibly be.
Excellent. And yeah, finally, Benjamin, was this guy always like this? What's your personal connection with him?
There we go. Okay. Let's say that when my nonprofit was getting started, he was someone who had done some volunteer work for us, and I didn't know him super well, but he seemed like he was a good dude. But I haven't seen him in a number of years.
Interesting. Okay.
Are we talking about the cop now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So we have this guy who has come in here and started hassling people. Shown signs of getting physically violent, particularly with the mechanics and the people dedicated to organizing the smooth running of the station. He's causing more and more problems for the homeless people who shelter there. And people have started going missing, people who work at the place mainly. Interesting. So this then is where we start then. The four of you are at the cafe in the station, shall we say? You've worked together on things like this before. You know that when this thing is happening, like these sort of things are happening, sure, you could try and find a bureaucratic solution or a sort of not mundane solution, appeal to supervisors, all that sort of thing. But you have a cheat code of a sense in that you can try and find that gap in reality where the void is attached to this place. You can push deep in there and find a way to unlock this man's mind and heart and take the darkness, this power out of him. And, maybe that causes a change of heart of him and he goes back to being a non-profit worker. Maybe it just ruins him. Maybe it gets him just out of your hair. That'll be for you to decide.
Before we jump into role-playing, can we take like a 5-minute break?
Yeah, go for it. Let's have a 5-minute bio break and see you all soon. Right. You're back. Good. So you are. It is. How many of you have like day jobs?
My character does.
Okay. So everyone apart from Frankie. It's cool. So this is probably. Is this after work? Would you say, or on the weekend that you're meeting?
I think after work.
Okay. Cool. So you are in the cafe of the station. You can see from here the sort of commuters streaming in and out of the station, in and out, down through the turnstiles, the escalators, down to the trains. You can see a few transport police sort of hanging around the top, near the sort of entrances to the station. A busker playing on a violin near one of the entrances, and occasionally giving those officers a sort of wary glance. So, who starts this meeting?
I guess I will as the authority.
Yeah.
And so we all know that supernatural stuff goes on, and we've done this before.
You've done this before.
Um,
like maybe once or twice before, not a huge amount.
Well, I never hoped I'd never see the day when we have one of these things in our own backyard here.
Yeah, I can't deal with Donald being treated that way. That's a crossing the line for me.
The thing I can't get over is that. Sorry, what's the name of this guy?
Sergeant Herbert Carter. Normally goes by Herb.
Yeah, the thing I can't get over is that Herb should know better. He pitched in when we were clearing rubble. I don't know, it must have been 5-6 years ago. Maybe that was before he joined the force. But
yeah, people can change a lot in 5 or 6 years.
Yes, they can.
Well,
I say we make him hurt.
That was my next question. I was going to ask Benjamin. Given all that, what are we going to do about it?
We at least really need to know what he's been up to, what the extent of all the wrong he's been doing.
I mean, we know where the source is. It's in the castle.
Yeah.
Yeah, if that's true, and I feel like you're right about that, and it's only going to get worse. It's just can't keep a grocery list of all the wrongdoings. You're just gonna have to do something about it. So, who's with me? You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, I'm with you.
We're like the neighborhood watch.
I want him to feel the fear he's causing.
We didn't ask for this, but we got to do it.
Like I said, it's in our backyard now.
So, what's the plan?
We've got to go through.
Start poking around the back corridors of the station. The station certainly seems to be his stomping grounds.
Yeah, anybody know a way in? Or are we going to have to start turning over things to figure it out like we did the last time?
Jay, you mentioned that we had seen like sort of supernatural things essentially in the station, like new corridors appearing. Is that typically how people enter the castle?
Well, there'll normally be some sort of entry point hidden in sort of back areas, service corridors, back alleys, that sort of thing.
Okay, so it's not as simple as having a navigation app on our phones.
No,
No.
not quite.
And these entryways, are they permanent spaces, or are they different each time?
They're generally permanent for as long as one person is getting empowered. You know.
I see. So we need to find this thing. We need to look for it. Let's look at those basic moves. There's got to be something there.
Well, I mean, starting up, you'd probably want to. I know Rebelizer is a good thing to just sort of get a sense for a situation.
Okay. Personalization.
So, which is normally a check against heat.
I think I'm not too bad in heat.
No, you got 2 in it. That's pretty good. It's pretty good. So, what are you doing to investigate here, Daniel?
All right. So basically, since I'm the one who heard rumors about people going missing, and for some long, and right now, Herb, what's his name? Herbert?
Herb, yep.
Herb,
Herb
yeah.
Carter, Sergeant, etc.
Yeah, Herb doesn't have me as crosshair or anything, so I think I'm just going to go around the people, ask around the people I overheard, ask them a bit more question about the agent, and
Okay.
maybe find his favorite hanging spot or something like that.
Okay, cool. So you'll need to make a check against heat. So to do that, you roll 2d6 and see how many come up above your heat.
Yes, D6. Do we have a roll for a party?
Oh, I should set one of those up, shouldn't I?
Or I just made one of them.
Oh yeah, if you want to share
Okay.
that in the chat, that is great. Gladly Subtle Horse. Love it.
Yes, I love those names.
All right.
All right, so I check against 8, and it's a strong hit.
Excellent. Perfect. So you have 2 hold that you can spend as you're sort of interacting with this situation to ask those questions.
All right.
So do you want to describe that for us? What is Daniel doing as they poke around?
Like I said, going to see specific people that seems to know just a bit more than they seems to be letting on,
Okay.
but that don't necessarily want to be caught in anything. Just asking questions to glean information. Who's in charge is not the right question here.
Maybe what can I make use of?
Yeah, exactly. That'll be the best one right now.
Okay. So as you're poking around, I think so you're talking to some of your friends here, maybe the homeless people or the barista.
Yeah, I was maybe thinking more like the friend of someone went missing.
Oh yeah, okay, cool. So I think one thing that they tell you as you ask, what you can do to make use of it is that this person was, one of the maintenance workers at the subway station, and their friend has been investigating things too, trying to pick into what went wrong, and have discovered that there's a maintenance entrance to the subway station that their friend had the key to. They're normally sort of, locked up with a combination lock, actually. Yeah, so they've worked out the number to a back entrance to the station.
Okay.
And their friend was sort of starting to poke around there about when they went missing.
All right, that's interesting. I'll keep my other hold for now.
Cool.
And I'm going to report to the others.
Cool.
Is there a name for that person that I'm missing?
Yeah, let's go with Gabrielle.
Gabrielle. All right. So, Gabrielle, one of the crew maintenance worker that's been missing. I know he's been poking around some back alley entrance for the station, and he's been missing ever since he found that. So that might be one of the access to the castle.
This person had a key, right?
Combination lock. So they figure out the combination.
Well, you were able to find out the combination.
Okay, I
from
was able.
Yeah.
Okay.
Their friend had
Okay.
found this out and was about to sort of poke in themselves, and then was like, you can do this instead.
Yeah.
I'll let this crazy person handle this for me.
Yeah, we'll take care of it before there's any more victims.
Sounds good.
If this is New York, then subways are open 24 hours. So
Yeah.
why don't we just go check it out late at night when there aren't a lot of people around?
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Best time to poke around the back corridors of a spooky underground station.
Duh.
Okay. All right. So you can all meet up again, I guess, in the dead of night. Yeah. Daniel, you can lead the way. Do you have what have you brought with you?
Oh, that's a good question. Probably a flashlight.
Sounds good.
Smartphone. Yeah, probably not much more.
Fair. Makes sense.
Can I bring a little something?
Yeah, go for it.
I brought a one of those hoods you wear so you just see your eyes.
Excellent.
And a spray can. So I like to go first, and if there's any security camera.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, there's probably one at the entrance to this alleyway that you can just sort of sneak up on and black out. And giving Daniel time to go to the entrance, unlock it. It's just a sort of bulky padlock sort of thing with the combination on. And
all right, as I'm unlocking this, I'll use my second hold. What am I overlooking?
Okay. I think one thing you've got to bear in mind is that the person in charge, this Sergeant Carter, obviously has been disappearing people. Normal people, like not necessarily folks like you, aren't necessarily able to notice these doorways to the other world. So if the person disappeared, they probably disappeared in the mundane world, which means there might be mundane threats to deal with down here.
Okay. All right. That's something to keep in mind. So I work the combination, unlock the padlock. Motion to everybody that we're ready.
And through the door, there are steps going down into the darkness, illuminated by your torches, sort of grimy maintenance staircase. Heading down to into the bowels of the station.
Let's go.
Who's taking the lead? I mean, actually, we said it was Trin.
Sure, I'll go first.
Yeah. So, Trin, as you descend the steps, you hear noise starting up, the whirring of engines and the clattering of trains and tracks, getting more and more intense as you go down. Eventually, you see light ahead of you as you go down these stairs, and they're this sort of bare concrete corridor, illuminated by fizzing fluorescent bulbs. There's a sort of mildewy feeling in the air, and just sort of the noise of the machinery is deafening. It's hard to tell what might be happening, beyond this corridor. But you've sort of got your head on swivel, aware of sort of looking out for threats and danger.
Do I see anything? So it's like a concrete corridor. There's
Yes.
2 ways to go, right?
Exactly.
This is not the train track. This is just like a passage space
Yeah,
that
yeah.
we're moving. All right. Okay.
There's a rumble as a train goes past very near, you think, and sort of dust rains down from the ceiling.
I'd like to kind of motion us in that direction.
Okay.
To see what might be going on over there.
All right, the 4 of you pick your way carefully down the corridor. It's getting louder and louder, and there's also the sort of buzzing of the bulb seems to fizzle around you. Just sort of that fizzing noise tends sort of working its way into your head. It's unpleasant. But as you make your way down, you get to a source of at least some of this noise, a big room full of generator and other machinery, all just sort of rumbling and buzzing. And as you enter the room, you see, so a lot of this machinery is sort of, there's chain link fences walling it off from people in case of like electrical discharges and all sorts of other things blocking your way through the room. And as you enter the room, you see what seems like the back end of a leg just sort of moving past it, like sort of someone just walking past behind one of the machines into the room.
Are they headed further in, or are they coming?
Yeah, further in.
Okay, so this might be someone going towards what we're looking for.
Yes.
So I kind of point to everyone that there's someone down that way. Can we just go ahead and follow them, or is this chain link stopping us?
You can go ahead. The chain link is sort of stopping you from sort of like going as the crow flies, but you can sort of go around various different machines.
Yeah, I'd like to, if I may, I'd like to go around and see if I can catch a glimpse of who that is. I suspect it's this policeman, but it might be someone else.
Okay. Sure. Yeah. Do you want to give me a? Yeah. This is where I wish that I'd updated the basic move sheets with the moves I've been writing today, but I'll just do. Do you want to give me a basic check against heat?
Okay, it's just 2d6 roll.
Yep, 2d6. Okay. How many beat your heat?
Okay. No, I don't want to roll d8s.
I mean, that would have been a success.
Yeah, wrong dice. Let's try this again. Okay, so that's a 9.
A 4 and a 5?
Yeah, is that plus heat or minus heat?
Just how many go above your heat?
Oh, I see.
No,
okay.
I know it's not. I know it's a bit weird.
No, it's all right.
Them. So
I've got 3 heat. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Sure, you do it. You sneak behind them, and sort of the others can follow at a safe distance, but you're quick and can move ahead and poke around a corner and see that it is a transport police officer, but not the one you're looking for. They're sort of, moving about. They've got a flashlight in one hand. They're sort of pointing into corners. But as they're sort of moving about, they seem kind of woozy, kind of a little bit out of it. And as they glance around, you can see there's a sort of dark smudges on their face around their eyes.
It's like mascara or maybe something else.
More like grease, engine oil,
okay.
That sort of thing.
Okay. I hang back and I'm sorry, do you have more description?
No. They sort of point the torch back behind them and you duck behind a throbbing machine and they move on.
You said they, so there's more than one of them.
No, I just used a gender-neutral pronoun.
Okay,
use
I
he.
got you. Okay, I got you. Yeah, so I hang back and I let the rest of the crew know that there's another policeman here, not the one we thought. Maybe the whole unit is corrupt. Anyway, they're between us and maybe wherever we're headed. So proceed with caution.
This is weird. I'm not sure I've seen any other officer acting quite so weird.
Oh yeah, and he had smudges, like some kind of grease around his eyes.
Okay.
Have we seen anything like that before? Maybe I asked this
Not
of the
really.
group. Yeah, have we seen it? Yeah. Is this this world's version of ectoplasm?
Could be. What you will know is, so I'd say you've seen a couple of these people before. And the way that it manifests has been kind of in the mundane world has been different each time, fitting the person in question. Right. So a patrolling cop, and a just omnipresent machinery and buzzing electronics.
So we think we are now in the castle and no longer in the real world.
You're still in the mundane world. You'd know if you cross over.
Oh. That means we need to be extra careful.
Yeah, that portal might not be too far ahead of us. I get the feeling.
Yeah. So, yeah, you could just try and maintain a safe distance as you carry on through.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right. So Ari taking the lead again. You can follow this guy. No, not Ari. Sorry, Trin. There we go. You can follow this guy down, and yeah, he seems. Yeah, the way he's walking is less woozy now. You look at it, and almost like he's sleepwalking, sort of staggering in some cases.
Yeah, perhaps under the influence of an alien force.
Exactly. And there's a point where you start to hear shouts, and so the cop turns around the corner and you start to hear shouting. Sounds like him, and you hear sort of muffled grunts around the corner.
Mm-hmm. Any voices that I recognize?
Not hugely. I mean, you're mainly hearing like, well, actually, probably you've hung around the station a lot. Yeah, why not? You can hear probably what sounds like that musician, Donald.
Donald? Okay, yeah.
Sort of like a shout of pain, a shout of, no, stop! Like, please.
I think my better judgment would maybe leave me for a moment, and I'm gonna go on ahead just to see if I can help.
Okay, excellent. You charge around the corner, and it looks like the cop has well, it's hard to tell first because it looks like his flashlight has dropped to the floor and it's barely illuminating this place. So just in light of a single sort of sparking, fizzing bulb, you see that he has grabbed Donald around the neck. Well, no, probably sort of around the shoulders and sort of pinning him against the wall, and is sort of pulling him back and shoving him against the wall again. And Donald looks, quite a bit worse for wear, like his scalp is bleeding, and the cop is saying nothing but slamming him against the wall.
Is this cop armed with a firearm, or is it just like a handcuffs and a baton type thing?
So these police aren't like technically real police, so they probably got handcuffs and a baton and taser, maybe.
Yeah. I think the sight of this is just going to set me off, and I'm going to try to rush. I mean, do I hear anything being said?
He is not saying anything, the cop.
He's just grabbing him violently.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to try to grab the cop and tackle the cop and maybe like call back to one of my buddies to help me restrain the cop, maybe even handcuff the cop.
Excellent. Well, that is going to be a blood check.
All right.
Has anyone else been following close enough behind to want to help out with this?
Yeah, I'm going to help out.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm not too far behind you.
Okay.
All right.
So, in which case, Trin, you get to roll 2 dice plus an extra 1 from Frankie.
Okay.
All right.
So I'm gonna roll these 2 that are on the board already,
Yep.
and then add a third one.
Yes.
Okay.
It's important that they're distinguishable.
Yes. So there's my roll for those 2. Do I even need to roll another?
Yes.
Okay. With that roll. Okay. All right. Give me one more. Okay. There it is.
Okay, and that's important because if the helper's dice is the lowest, so I mean you succeed, you get to do this, but Trin, you say how Frankie's help is almost messed things up.
I think when Frankie comes in to help, because I went ahead of the group a bit. I think Frankie says something like, "What's going on?" Or, some kind of noise. You can decide what that is, Frankie. But whatever it is that you say, the cop turns around, and I for a moment, it seems like I lost my advantage of surprise, the element of surprise.
But you still managed to, take him down, press him to the floor. Frankie, do you want to? Well, this does strain your relationship with the crew a bit, however. So could you roll 2d6 and add your crew covenant rank of the Fool?
All right.
This is for the risk the covenant move, for what it's worth.
Got a 9 and
So
covenant rank is 1.
yes, so that's a 10. Perfect. So on a hit, you both remember some moment in the past that puts your current actions in perspective. And on a 10 plus, raise the rank by 1. So how does this remind you both of another point in your relationship that helps bring you more together?
How about when I first dropped out, I was sometimes I was sleeping in on park benches and whatnot, and I was being harassed by a cop and not Ari. I almost said the wrong name again. Trin came along and stood up for me and lied to the cop and just said, hey, he was just waiting here for me and whatnot, and got me out of the situation.
Yeah, sounds good. All right, so the rest of the two of you, Daniel and Benjamin, can sort of come around the corner. You see like Ari pinning this weird cop to the floor as Frankie is sort of putting handcuffs on them. Donald, meanwhile, has sort of collapsed a little, sort of sagged down against the wall.
So what do I know? How I perceive the situation is going to have a big effect on how I react to it. So is this a situation where like I see these guys like fighting a supernatural creature, and the most significant consequences are like whether we hurt the supernatural creature or it hurts us, or is this like just like they're attacking some cop who, if he sees them, can cause huge amounts of real life trouble later for them?
The second one.
And does it look like that? Has the cop had a chance to like get a good look at them?
Well, you say that as you look at the cop, you can see that sort of that weird black grease that Ari mentioned, that Trin mentioned, is actually completely sort of covering their eyes. Their eyes are completely black, and you'd be surprised if they could see. And they
Okay.
are not making any noise as they are pinned down on the floor.
Great. I'm gonna grab Donald, make sure he's okay, and try and get him out of here.
Okay. Ben? Ben, is that you?
Don, are you all right?
Oh,
That guy did a number on you.
yeah. I was just trying to get some rest down here. He just came for me.
It's
What
not
the
safe.
fuck, man?
It's not safe for you to be here tonight. You can crash at the center tonight.
Okay. Thanks. Hey, can you hear that weird music?
Can I hear that weird music?
Not really. It's like down that corridor, like there's someone playing something.
Are there any other buskers here usually?
No. Well, none that you can hear.
Where exactly are you hearing that music, Don?
I don't know. It sounds like just that way. And points down one of the sort of corridors here. I'm
We'll go
Shit,
take a look.
I'm gonna get out of here.
You do that. I'm gonna go check and make sure that whoever's down there is okay as well.
Okay. So, for what it's worth, Trin and Frankie, this cop has just sort of gone completely still and just lying there, submissive in some ways. He's like he's still breathing and that sort of thing. He's just sort of lying there.
Quick question. I forgot to ask this earlier.
Okay.
You mentioned something about our rank increasing. Was that for me?
That was for Frankie, and I have done that.
Okay, cool. So this cop, their eyes are still remaining this weird sort of dark.
Yeah.
They haven't changed.
Hmm.
And they're handcuffed.
They're handcuffed? Yeah.
They're incapacitated as far as like doing anything physical.
Yeah.
I try to say something to him. I say,
okay.
I snap my fingers to see if he's alert or they're alert. Do they respond?
His head sort of turns to look at you. He does not make a noise.
I'm gonna say we need to get out of here. I don't know what's going on with him, but we do not want to be here when he gets his shit back together.
Yeah, good idea. But if this is the only way in, we might want to drag him out a bit so he's in the main hall. So when he does come to, we don't have a chance of running into him again. Because we got to go back out the same way we go in, if that's what I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough. Just do it fast.
Yeah. So I do that. I just kind of pull him to his feet and get him out into that main corridor, so that whenever he's found or comes to, I even turn him so he's facing away from the entry to this. So if we come out and he's still here, he won't see us.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay. And you can.
I at this point I say what Donald told me about the music.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you're an authority on these matters, so feel free to take us where we need to go.
Yeah. Do you want to poke around the corner and have a look?
Yeah. Make the old man go first.
Okay. So, Benjamin, you make your way down the corridor and poke your head around the corner, and that sort of buzzing and flickering of the lights and the thrumming of the machinery gets louder and louder as you go around here. And as you turn the corner, there is just blackness, just a sort of wall of rippling darkness stretching from one wall to the other.
Is this what gates to the castle look like?
Yeah, it's generally, yeah.
All right, so we know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
All right, kids.
All right.
Go in, look around, we find trouble, and we survive.
All right. Do you want to dive into darkness then?
Yep. Let's do it.
Okay. It sounds like Benjamin is your current leader.
Okay, so what do I do?
You roll check against blood.
Cool. So this is just 2d6.
To see how well you can hold yourself together as you cross across the threshold.
All right, that is a 3 and a 5, and my blood is 3, I believe.
Okay, so that is a weak hit. So you pick 2 from the Dive into Darkness list, which are all of you appear in the same place. You don't draw castle denizens to your location, and each of you can reinforce a piece of your gear.
Let's say we don't draw castle denizens, and we can each reinforce a piece of mundane gear.
All right, so you won't all appear in the same place. Nice. So the things you can do is you can make your clothing grant you armor, you can make a mundane object into a weapon, or you can make a mundane tool particularly effective. Of course, you will get like a cool weapon and some gear as part of traveling across into darkness.
Wait, what? So we already have a cool weapon, or
You will do.
Oh, if we use the reinforce, or
No. Just as part of your playbook.
Got it. Okay. So I guess we should look and see what our playbooks have. Can we look at what our playbooks give us first before we?
Yeah. So basically, each of you gets free choice for a signature weapon and then a backup piece of gear. There we go.
All right. So right now, what are we choosing?
At the moment, Benjamin is deciding if they want to give you better gear or just
I'm giving them better gear.
You're giving them better gear. Okay. So what we're doing is you all pile through this black portal and into the castle, but you can feel yourself being sort of pulled away from each other as you do so. So what I'd like you to do is so if you look on the second page of your playbook under the Embrace the Darkness heading, so you'll pick a piece of gear from the 3 listed there. You'll also have a signature weapon, which can just be anything you like, and I will tell you what tags it has. And then you also get to pick 2 of the castle moves on the first page, and also pick a shadow look category and an option within that to say how you look different in the castle. So a few things.
So I work for a dinner theater in my job, and right now we've been putting on cabaret. So my signature weapon is a cane, a black kind of dance cane.
Excellent.
So where's the signature weapon stuff?
Oh, you just describe what it is, and I'll help you set it up.
Oh, and okay, but there's no list of. Is there a list of like perks or something?
No. Okay. I mean, there are tags, but I do not have those in the handouts for some reason. So I think a cane could have the stun tag so that it helps stagger people. That sounds about right. And probably you need to be within arm's reach to use it, so it gets the close tag. Does that sound about right? Okay, cool.
Sounds really good. Sorry.
Excellent.
I'm looking to see where we write this stuff, the gear.
Did I not put that down? Whoops. Then I will do that.
I could put it under, okay.
Yeah. Probably don't need shadow move 2 con.
Gear and then our castle look, is that Set of
Yeah.
play.
Yeah. So you pick one of the categories and an option within it, or make your own.
Yeah, I'm asking where it goes. So we got particulars up top.
Yeah. I'll just put it down here as well. Sorry. As I say, work in progress, character keeper.
No worries. I could just throw it into those empty fields. I just thought I maybe missed it.
No, there is nowhere clever that I have thought of for it.
So I think that I'm in the castle. I'm dressed like the like king on a playing card, and my signature weapon is like a scepter.
Excellent. Okay, that's cool.
Hmm.
How about the scepter is hefty, so it knocks people back on a hit, and it's brace, so you need to stand. You know, to have good footing to use it properly.
Okay. Actually, well, let's see.
Oh, would you prefer something else?
Is there? I think I'm going to take this banner and try and be using be kind of like using helping moves primarily rather than confront. So is there a good like defensive tag that I could have? If not, I'll find a way to use the hefty. Actually, there are probably fun ways to use that.
There isn't really a defensive tag, no.
Okay, then we'll stick with hefty.
Okay. Playing card king is a very good look. I like that a lot.
Oh, and we all know how Shadow won?
Yes.
I like a cross between Liza Minnelli and Cabaret and the main character from Clockwork Orange. I forget his name. Alex.
Excellent.
Oh, one other thing. In terms of the castle moves, so we're picking one castle move now.
2 castle moves.
2 castle moves. And these are the castle moves from our playbook that we all have.
Yes.
Are there any that you haven't seen in action yet that you want to see play tested?
Not hugely.
All right. I think my shadow look will be something akin to a secret, more Secret Service agent, like bodyguard with big sunglasses and just a tie, black suit.
Excellent.
I think the perfect weapon for this will simply be a handgun.
Okay, cool. So,
and of course the little I don't know how to call it, but the thing they have in their earpiece.
Little earpiece. Okay, cool. All right. So yeah, for a handgun, ranged makes sense. You could go with ammo, so you can run out of ammo for it. You could go with grazing, so it doesn't deal significant harm. You could go with reload, so you need to reload after using it.
I think I'll take grazing.
Okay, cool. Excellent. And Trin, what do you look like when you manifest?
Trin looks like someone dressed in couture hunter's clothes. So like whatever a hunter would wear, but designed for like Fendi. And then like kind of like ghostly and wearing one of those Outback hats.
Okay.
And with a rifle strapped to their back.
Excellent.
It almost looks like cosplay, but it's real.
Good thing to say about your look. Yeah, I like it. Right. Okay, so we see. Ooh, there's a link.
Let me see what you did there, Sam.
Very nice, very nice. Okay.
Oh yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, something for the runway.
Yes. Runway camo. Runway hunter chic. Good.
Mhm.
All right. So.
Do not be seen in style.
Cool. So, we see one by one the four of you passing through this black wall. We see one by one the four of you straightening out and getting a sense of your surroundings, changed as we have described by your passage into the supernatural realm of the castle. We also see that you're not all together. Benjamin, as you straighten up, as these regal vestments surrounding you, you can see Daniel standing by you in his Secret Service outfit. You do not see the others. Similarly, Frankie, you're sort of dusting off your perfect cabaret sort of outfit. And next to you is Trin in their hunting chic. And where you're at, both groups, is on a when you look around yourself, you're on a platform in a station. There's a sudden roar, and then a train goes thundering through, just flashing through, lights streaming and noise pouring off it, and it sort of staggers you for a moment. And when you sort of look up again and clear your eyes, you can see that you're in this train station is cavernous. It's massive. There are dozens of train lines going off into the far distance, and platforms stretching out almost to the horizon, in either direction. And over the tannoy, you hear announcements sort of crackling through. It's sort of standard. The 10:51 to North Docks will be departing in 5 minutes, mixed in with other ones. Transportation requires payment is one. Or all hail the king of the rails is another. Or trespassers will be mutilated is a third. So, Benjamin and Daniel, you sort of pick yourself up. You're on a platform. Occasionally, in the distance, another thundering train will rush through. Where do you go? What do you do?
All right, so those messages are not ominous at all.
Looking
And
sharp, Daniel.
Thank you. You do too. And you can see like Daniel has taken a little bit more confidence and stuff right now.
Clothes make the man.
Yep. All right. So we should be one looking for the other, or for any. Actually, we just should be looking for anything right now. Explore.
I'm looking for a subway map.
Okay, cool. Sounds like you're trying to read a dangerous situation. So give me a C clear. Oh shit! I forgot to do this. What I'd like you to do is assign numbers to your stats. So in the castle, you have 4 stats. Swords is your ability to directly clash with antagonists. Cups is your ability to help and support other people and empathize with things and tap into magic. Coins is your ability to make good use of your environment. And wands is your ability to be quick and graceful. So if you could assign 1 to 2 to one of those, 0 to 2, and -1 to the last, that'd be great.
What did you say the last one was for wands?
Wands is about being quick and graceful.
Right.
Jay, when you have a moment, could you paste the move text for my
Oh, yeah,
capital?
certainly.
Thanks. I was trying to paste from the PDF, but it seemed weird.
Yes, it does not work very well. Authority. Tactical genius. And next you'll say.
Okay, I love that move name.
It's a good one. All right, so Daniel, you're looking for something useful that seems like it triggers C clear. So I'd like you to roll plus coins. And again, your friend who's here can choose to help you out if they wish.
I definitely wish.
Okay. So you roll 2 dice plus 1 extra from Simon.
Oh, I see. Okay, so I'm the
Daniel?
primary roller, or
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yep. You can take one of my dice under Daniel.
Okay.
Clever.
And what am I trying to get? That's 9. That's if we're
All right. So you add
PBTA-ing it
your
here.
stat now.
Yeah, we're back in normal PBTA
We're
mode.
back in normal PBTA rules. Don't worry.
Okay, and that is C clear plus coins. Okay, so that's just a 9.
Okay. Cool. A 9. All right. So you can ask one from the list.
Which exit takes me to my goal? Seems
Okay.
straightforward.
And your goal here is reuniting with people.
Correct.
Okay. So I'll say that you sort of search for a subway map. You find one sort of up, and it actually takes you a while to deduce it because the writing on it looks like, English, but it sort of squirms and wriggles when you look at it. But you realize that even if you can't read the text, there's a pattern to the entrances to the outside world. And in fact, there are a couple marked where you are here and another one further away in the station. And tracing things through, you can see that there's a sort of escalator up from here that will take you to them, probably.
Okay, perfect.
Excellent. Right. Do you head off that direction? Okay. Well then, it sounds like you're traveling the labyrinth. So you roll. You can choose to mark. So there is this mechanic where you can choose to accept more of the castle's influence into yourself to get more power, and that helps with this move.
Sure, let's do it. Why not? It's a one shot.
So you can do that up to 3 times for this move.
Let's do it once.
Okay, so you mark 1 shroud, and you're rolling +1.
Where's the what happens once you get lots of shroud? By the way.
Oh, your shadow goes up. When it gets very high, the castle comes for you and takes you in your day-to-day life.
Damn.
Yeah.
Let's take 2 shrouds.
Okay. So you're rolling +2.
That's about the
Okay.
only game where leveling up at some point is just bad.
Yeah. Well, there's Urban Shadows, which is where I kind of.
Yeah, but it's combined the same mechanic now, not just 2 different XP.
Yeah.
All right, so
awesome.
that is an 11.
Okay, excellent. So say what you understand better about this place as you travel.
Let's say that as we keep walking through it, the letters on the signs stop jittering.
Okay. So you can force them mentally to reform.
Yeah, maybe it's one of those things where you have to like unfocus your eyes, like magic eye, and then they
Excellent.
Make the thing.
All right, so you get to pick 2 from the Travel the Labyrinth list.
All right, let's take. You'll be able to easily leave the area once you enter. and there's something valuable in the next area. I feel like the fiction is kind of already granting me there's a potential ally in the
definitely.
area in the form of our friends.
All right, so let's move back to see how Trin and Frankie found themselves. So Trin and Frankie, you are on another platform, just the two of you. Again, platform stretching off into the far distance and train lines disappearing into tunnels that stretch out into darkness.
Any trains arriving?
Oh, yes. As you're sort of picking yourself up, one train is screeching into the station on this platform.
Are we in the path of this train?
Oh, no. Sorry, next to the platform.
Okay. That would be bad.
It would be bad. It would be pretty bad.
Bad for our characters.
Yeah, you're sort of getting a sense of the surroundings when the doors open, and
So I'm going to try to see if I think it's dangerous in the train or not.
all right, that sounds like see clear. Give me a coins roll.
Coins, so that's 0. Seven.
Okay. So yeah, you can ask me a question.
Which exit or direction, if you want, takes me to my goal? So if
What's your goal?
To find the other two of our crew.
Okay. Well, the answer definitely is not this train. As you look in, as the sort of lights of the station go through the windows of the train, it illuminates that every surface of it is sort of covered in that grease that you saw on the cop outside. And actually, looking into it, you can see the sort of shapes of people sort of pressed into the grease, like sort of up against the walls, against the floor. They're sort of lying there, and as you look, some of them are still sort of like twitching and not properly moving. Though, as you look, one of them sort of peels themselves off the floor. Their front is a bit less sort of covered in the oil, but you can just make out sort of like basic, just standard commuter clothing. And they just sort of stumble out of the train and onto the platform next to you. And then the train doors close and it starts moving away. So what takes you to your destination is probably the escalator back up the platform. But
And that's where they're headed as well?
Actually, they're headed towards you. This single figure sort of starts stumbling towards you, and they look up and their sort of mouth is working, like they're trying to say something, but you're not quite sure what.
Do they seem to present a danger?
Well, they are sort of actually just sort of dripping with this grease, with this stuff, and they're sort of they sort of staggering towards you, and they sort of reach out, and like their arm sort of moves sort of slowly towards your face. They're weaving towards you.
So they may be trying to touch me, or maybe looking for help, but they're maybe inadvertently spreading this stuff, right? But none of them speaks. None of them say anything. They all okay. So maybe I'll use one of my moves here. Reshape chaos.
Okay. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. So I'll just roll it first, and then we'll figure it out.
Yeah. And your group does have a trace because the people just succeeded at Travel the Labyrinth. So that's nice.
Yeah. So just roll it.
Let me just check reshape chaos. No, you just spend a trace to do that.
Yeah. So I want to a secret
what
passage.
What are you uncovering?
Secret passage or trapdoor to shelter from harm. Basically, like a secondary route that we can take that gets us to that escalator to go up.
Okay,
and
cool.
Safe from these grease zombies.
Okay. Yeah, so you can just like pop open a sort of maintenance hatch on the floor and like pull Frankie down into that and just run underneath the greased zombie.
Yeah, grease zombies.
Yeah, and then sort of just pop up again near the escalator and run up it.
That's a good one. That's a good plan.
Yeah. And at the top of the escalator, you sort of hear footsteps running towards you and glance over, and there is Daniel and Benjamin.
What a coincidence. You running from those grease zombies also?
No, grease zombies.
Yeah.
Coincidence? We just carefully tracked you down over the course of like half an hour.
Carefully consulting the maps as you came.
Yes, well, it's a good thing. Oh, and you have a map, huh? Do you have a map?
Well, there are maps on the walls, and I
Oh,
think
you're
now we know
following.
how to read them more or less.
Well, you're a step ahead of us.
So at the top of this, top of the escalator, where all of you have converged, there is a kiosk, which seems to be sort of, one of those small ones that sells like, newspapers and sweets and that sort of thing. That there seems to be sort of someone standing with their back to you behind. There's a sort of television in the corner playing. It looks like a war documentary of some kind, and the person is just standing there watching it with their back to the counter.
I'm curious to see what the journals on this kiosk are about. So I'll definitely go check it out.
Okay. So you look through them, and there's something like, well, I was going to say there's something weird about them. There's something weird about everything. But
So there's something weirder about them.
Actually, no, there's something mundane about them. As you flick through them, and by the way, as you start flicking through them, the figure behind the counter starts sort of moving subtly, sort of twitching. But you're looking through these newspapers. Each of them seems to be like a biography. Well, written a bit like sometimes it's written like a news article, sometimes it's written like an obituary, sometimes it's written like a book review. But every time it is talking about Sergeant Herbert Carter and the events and times of his life. Like, one time you're flipping through a bit formatted like a film review, and it's just talking about his morning one time, like buying a cereal bar because he's trying to diet and all that sort of thing. But this is technically a token of the mundane world in the castle.
Yeah. So I can drink deep from it?
If you want to.
I definitely want to.
Okay.
Okay. There's my dice. So
Right.
it's gonna be probably 7 or 8.
That looks like it. Yep. I mean, your cups is 1, so that's an 8.
Right.
Okay, so you attune to this token and can ask me a question from the list.
What did the castle promise the vassal?
Recognition. As you flick through these, you can feel, and you're sort of compiling them into a sort of binder, well, a just sort of single newspaper that you can hold and like tuck into your arm or whatever. But it feels like the castle promised this guy that he would be known, that his name would be known by people, that he would not labor anonymously. He wouldn't just be a sort of faceless uniform. People would know his name. And as you're doing this, as you're sort of like packing this newspaper together, the person behind the counter turns around and regards you, and they are, so you know how the person on the train was sort of like a person covered in grease? They're a person made of grease.
Ew.
Yes, they just sort of, It's like if you imagine that you took like a very sort of viscous oil and then sculpted it into like a face with eyes and a mouth that sort of, but it's still slightly dripping. And as they turn and see you sort of picking up this sort of newspaper as you sort of as you attune to it and make it yours, they sort of fling out an arm at you to try and grab it back. What do you do?
I will take a step back.
All right, sounds like you're trying to avoid their attack. So that is a dodge roll, which is now on confrontations. So do you want to roll me ones?
I think I F plus 0. Once, yes. Oh, 12.
Perfect.
My journal.
Yes, you're not the one who gets good things on a no. Yes. So yeah, you so you get to pick 2 from the dodge list, which are you avoid taking harm, you avoid getting separated from the others or losing something valuable, or the foe is heedless in pursuit of you, create an opening that others can use to strike them.
So I will definitely avoid taking harm.
Yep.
And the foe's heedless pursuit of you will create an opening.
Okay. So
I guess
you
I
avoid.
start running.
Yes.
With the journal.
No, because you didn't pick. You avoid losing something valuable.
It's. Is there another?
There are 3 options.
Are losing? Oh, okay. I just read the part separated from the others. Oh, okay. Then I will. I will take harm in that case.
Okay. Excellent.
I won't keep the journal.
So I'll ask you to mark a minor wound. So just put a 1 next to minor. That's fine. And yeah, as it sort of scrapes its sort of greasy fingers along your arm, and actually that leaves the grease starts sort of smoking and smoldering as it touches you, as it sort of acrid and burns into you.
Ew.
But yeah, you can sort of duck back and grab a hold of the journal and duck away. And the creature it is half leaned over the kiosk to get to you, and now it's sort of like struggling and sort of tumbling forwards and clawing its way out of this place. But it is vulnerable at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Does anyone want to save Daniel's bacon here?
I got a question. That reshaped chaos move, I didn't have to roll. How does that work again?
So traces are a currency that you earn by understanding this place better, and you spent one of those.
Do we have any left?
No,
we don't. Okay, so once you run out, there's nothing I can do like to take harm in order to do it or anything like
not
that.
Yet.
Okay.
No.
Okay. I'd like to help Daniel.
Okay, you're just gonna shoot the creature.
Let's see. Would that be confrontations?
That'd be strike.
Yeah, I've got that rifle.
Yeah, you have a rifle.
So I'm going to go ahead and take a shot with the rifle.
Okay. I think that's probably precise insight. So a coins roll.
Coins. Just give me a second to look at my stats. Coins.
Oh, you seem to have 1 too many plus 1s.
Oh, I do?
Yes.
Should that be... Oh, one of these needs to be a 0.
Yes.
Okay. I was going to make coins my high stat, so I'll make sword 0. So this is just a straight roll with no bonus.
With coins?
Oh, it is with coins. Okay.
Yes, because you're taking advantage of an opening with precise insight.
I see. All right. So I'm going to delete this die, get rid of that, and roll these 2 over here. Okay, great.
You're excellent at this.
Yeah, good shot. Apparently.
You ventilate them, I guess. Yeah, you just sort of your shot rings out. The grease spatters everywhere, but you folks manage to avoid it, and the grease creature just sort of is no more. It is splattered apart, and peace reigns.
Oh, are you okay? What? It looks like you got a bit on your arm.
Yeah, it hurts, but nothing too bad.
Okay, well, we should probably keep an eye on that. Can I try to wipe it off?
Yeah.
It might not help, but in my mind, my character's mind, I think this stuff is bad, and I don't want to see
Yeah.
my friend. So I'll give it a
Yeah.
try.
Yeah, no worries. What extra piece of gear did you pick?
I didn't take anything, did I? I was going to turn that spray can into like a flamethrower, like a handheld, like spray flame thingy.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
I should
That
write.
sounds
I'll
fine.
write that. I'll write down spray flame thrower.
Yeah. Sure. So that can probably be what's a good setup for that? Cleave, in that it can affect multiple foes at once.
Okay, cleave.
And painful. It has a chance of hurting you.
Certainly.
Yeah. Oh, it looks like you picked a hunting rifle from your playbook gear, but you also get a signature weapon? Would you like the hunting rifle to be your signature weapon? You can just pick another one there.
Okay, so hunting rifle. Oh, so I don't need to do this flamethrower thing. Just delete that.
The flamethrower could just be your signature weapon if you like.
Yeah, let's make that.
Okay.
Signature
Cool.
weapon.
Yes. All right. So yeah, you can just sort of clean off a bit of the goop from Simon. It seems like the sort of acid burn that's there isn't going away, but at least the goop is gone.
Okay.
So I have holes in my my shirt. In my
Yeah. Your sort of cool Secret Service uniform is slightly burned away on your arm. All right.
And I'm being very tender about it, not to get any on my very high priced camo jacket.
But Daniel, you have this newspaper detailing the life and exploits of Sergeant Herbert Carter.
Right. So newspaper. It's a mounting token.
Yes.
Token. All right. Quickly show it to everyone. I think we just got I think I have an inkling about the motivation of our not friend here. It's pitiful. I really hate this kind of person.
Well, maybe we can help them.
Yeah.
Gotta hurt them first.
Yeah, we'll need to clean the grease out of this place.
Grease is very flammable.
Yeah. Well, it's a good thing we don't have anything that could make that a problem. And I kind of like tuck my spray can further into my jacket.
All right. What next? You're heading out of this place?
Yeah, we need to find the source of this problem, right?
Yeah, Herb.
So, who's taking the lead?
Is it going to be the authority, or should I go ahead and do it? Give the old man a rest.
Go ahead.
All right, yeah, give the old man a rest, and I'll push ahead.
All right. Decide how many shrouds you want to mark. 1 to 3. Well, 0 to 3, and then roll plus that.
Just one. Where is that being marked off from?
Shrouds is under your shadow rating, above your stats.
Can we help on Travel the Labyrinth?
I don't think you can. No.
Okay, so my 2 shroud is now a 1.
How do we know which moves we can and can't help with, by the way?
Most of them, if it makes sense for you to sort of set up. But like this is Travel the Labyrinth is a bit weird because it's sort of a communal move already.
Okay.
Basically. Okay.
So I had 2 shroud. I've marked 1 off.
Oh no. So you add. They're additive. They're cumulative.
Okay. Let me go back to fix that. So I'm up to 3 on that.
Are you sure? Oh.
It was written as 1 before, or sorry, as 2 before.
Oh, I might have put them in the wrong one for Benjamin. There we go.
Okay.
Benjamin had 2.
Yes.
Oh, I see. So I should have been at 1, and now I'm at 2. Is that right?
You should have been at 0 because I don't think you've done any before.
Okay. So now I'm at 1.
Yeah.
And my shadow was
Yeah,
written as 1 as well. Should that be
Yes.
1? Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. When you hit 5 shrouds, your shadow goes up by 1.
Gotcha. All right, so I'm
reset.
going to go ahead and roll that.
Okay.
9. Rolling really well tonight.
Yeah. Wait, didn't you take a shroud as well? So that's a 10.
10, right.
Excellent. So say what you understand better about this ward, and the group gains a trace.
We how about he can sense the location of what was his name? Her Sergeant Carter.
Okay, but what do you understand better about how this place operates? I mean, what signs in the environment clue you into that?
Oh, how about something on the map, on the train maps?
Okay.
There's an icon there, and maybe it didn't show up on the earlier maps, but it's showing up here, and it's giving us a better idea of where we're supposed to go.
Maybe it's a symbol from those journals or whatever that Daniel found.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, maybe it's kind of weird. It's like there was like a police badge in the journal to signify something about him, and then now this same police badge sign is showing up on the map for some reason.
Okay, yeah, that's cool. How do you write on the roll for your party screen?
What do you mean?
Like you've done with Frankie and Daniel and Aaron?
It's a label.
What?
It's a label.
Oh, right, yep. Cool.
Yeah, fill in label and hit submit.
Yeah. I'm just going to plonk this here, and I'm going to add a token. Oh, why is it popping up down there?
Is that our police badge?
Yeah, sure. All right. Okay. And then you pick 2 from the list on Travel the Labyrinth.
Okay, let me pull that up. Travel a labyrinth. It's castle move. There
Travel the Labyrinth, yes.
Travel the labyrinth. All right. Let's go with potential ally.
Okay. Cool.
Because I'd like to see someone helpful in this place. And let's take also the first one, something valuable in the next area as well.
Okay. But you won't see what's in the area, and you won't be able to easily leave once entering.
Right.
Necessarily.
Yes. Giving you some stuff to work with.
All right. So, yeah, I think that what happens is you're sort of following the map, and you realize that you need to get a what's the word? You need to get to a different platform to go on a different line to get to where the badges are, that sort of thing. And there's a route through the station that you're in that gets you there, but you have to go through some of the back corridors, which are, how the one you saw in the mundane world was like full of all this humming machinery and crackling and noisy and all that sort of thing. It's much worse here. You enter into a room, just sort of cavernous room filled with clanking and wheezing and buzzing and humming machinery. Some of it is like normal size. Some of it towers above you, 2 or 3 stories tall. And as you're sort of making your way through this place, through this maze of machinery, you hear a sort of someone cursing and shouting like, "Get back! Come on! Oh, just a few moments! Come on!" As electricity starts arcing from one of the biggest machines into other places nearby, and those start whirring and start exploding. And actually, as they explode, the lightning earths out of them onto the ground and into sort of crackling forms that, like almost like sort of animals that crawl along the floor towards you. And from what you can tell, the voice was coming from near that biggest machine.
Take a look and see who's there.
Mm,
Get a better look
okay.
at them.
all right. It's going to be. I don't think you can see from here is the issue, because I mean, maybe if you climbed on top of one of those machines or made your way down, round through this maze.
If I go climbing, does anyone want to come with me, or would you rather go through the maze?
Do I look like I'm going to be climbing over these things?
Okay, through the maze. Through the maze.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Okay. All right. And what's your plan with these electrical spirits that are now sort of roaming the maze, just being kicked out by the machines as they belch out clouds of smoke and sparks?
Well, I've had trouble with machines before, and I know the sound of someone frustrated. So my thinking is maybe I can help this person.
Okay.
Because they're the first person that actually said something. That means to me, in my mind, that they probably aren't covered in grease.
But are you trying to run past these creatures, or?
Yeah, let's kind of avoid them.
Okay. Give me a wands roll then.
Wands roll. Just 2d6?
Yeah.
All right. 7. Oh, wait. 7, 8, 9.
Okay. Cool. So, yeah, you can leave the danger behind. Oh, actually, no, you don't leave the danger behind, I think. So, the four of you are sort of, making your way quickly through this maze, and then there's just a sort of, the pathway is kind of blocked by one of these. It's about the size of a dog, just a sort of small creature of sort of crackling electricity that is sort of poking around at the machines and like static earthing off it. And Trin just sort of nimbly sort of scoots by it and avoids its attention. And round the corner, Trin, you see someone dressed as a mechanic just sort of like bashing at this machine with a wrench. It's like, come on, you fucker, just work. The rest of you back in the maze, what are you doing? Benjamin, you're probably a bit in the sort of, you're probably bringing up the rear, I would imagine, right?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah. So looking around, you realize that the electricity arcing from that central machine has started setting fires among the other devices at the sort of periphery of this maze, and the fire is sort of burning inwards.
All right, well, we got to pick up the pace.
What's your plan?
I'm going to try and figure out a way out of the maze, I think.
All right, that sounds like you're seeing clear.
Yes, it does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So roll plus coins.
Would anyone like to help me?
Yeah, I will.
Okay. All right, that is a 10.
Okay.
And what's my die?
Including your die. Your die was the highest.
So you take the two highest.
Am I the highest or the lowest?
No. I roll one of your. I just rolled one of your dice with my dice, and we rolled the two. We take the two highest, right?
Yes.
There's a large advantage. Okay. Ask 3. Which exit takes me to my goal?
All right. Well, you can find out you can find a path through the maze that gets you around this spirit and back to the central thing. That's fine.
Okay. What here is valuable?
So that big device in the center actually hooks into the whole train network, you realize. Like if you can control that, you can redirect trains to suit your own needs and wishes.
Perfect. And I feel like I know what I should be on the lookout here for. What could the enemies here do?
They can jump very quickly from one metallic thing to another. They can ignore a lot of like basic physical hits because they're made of electricity. So you need to like properly earth them to hurt them properly.
What does that mean?
Well, like
Ground
big
them.
ground them. Sorry.
Yeah, but how does one ground a creature living electricity?
Shove a big piece of metal through it and into the floor sometimes.
Okay, interesting.
So like a little piece of metal like lead flying through it is not going to do much to it.
Got it.
Mhm.
It needs metal needs to connect them to the floor. All
Yes.
right, I will explain this to you guys, and I think I will. I'm going to try and use. I'm trying to use my tactical genius move here, basically.
Okay,
To say
cool.
that the way to fight these guys is to shove metal through them, connect them to something that is not metal by means of or to the ground, strictly by means of like a metal pole or something.
All right.
I
Roll
will-
for your to see how much of a tactical genius you are.
Am I a real genius? Let's find out. That is a 9.
Okay, so you get one hold, which you'll be able to spend to help someone else's roll
Cool.
if things go bad. All right, so the three of you, you've got a route to the center. You've got fire pressing in from the outside. You've got spark creatures roaming this maze. What do you do?
Okay, so maze, fire, and sparking electricity creatures.
Yep. But you've got a way through the maze at least. It might take you close to the fire, but if you're quick, it should be fine.
Huh. So,
What could possibly go wrong?
which one of you guys do you want to tackle?
Sorry, give us the choices again.
Which one of these two, like fire and electricity creatures, which one do you want to take care of?
So you can either take a route around the creature that will take you closer to the fire, or you can go through the creature.
Okay. I'm going to see if I have something on me that can help. Also, I have a move for that. Can't remember the name.
Resourceful.
Resourceful, exactly. Resourceful.
And you will have advantage doing either of those things because of Benjamin's insight.
Perfect.
I only get one hold to spend. So.
Oh yeah, but that's because that's just a standard thing from C Clear. You gain advantage when you're acting the answers.
Nice. Oh, and also, don't I have a special perk related to that of some kind? Where is that?
Cool.
All right, so I roll plus coin to see if I have. Oh, great, 4.
Oh dear. Okay, well, what were you doing? Seeing if there's anything in your pockets.
Well, it doesn't really mean pockets, or does it just mean a pocket-sized object, or
something on your person?
Yeah, I was looking for like a electric extension or something, anything that could be used to plug it into the ground and something like that. Like it could be a phone charger or anything.
All right. So you like reach into your pocket and sort of you're pulling out a sort of phone charger, and then out the corner of your eye you see that creature. Notice it and just, well, as I said, they can leap very quickly from one conductive thing to another.
Mm-hmm.
So it just sort of turns into a lightning bolt and just shoots across into the charger, and then sort of grabs it, sort of shoots across to the charger and latches onto it and sort of swipes at you. So take another minor wound, I guess.
Yay! I saw the move sheet when
his hand.
Yeah, makes sense.
So there's okay, it's just checks. So when I take my wound, I either get separated from the group or take shroud.
Yes.
Okay,
One of the two.
I'll take a shroud.
Okay. So, Frankie, you're going to try and knock this off him.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Give me a confront roll, which is rolled plus swords.
Swords. What I make my swords?
-1.
Yep.
Yay!
Oh, what could this is gonna go fine.
Yes.
7.
Oh, that's not too bad.
Right.
So you knock the enemy off balance and create an opening. So you knock it to the floor. So it's not just sort of holding on to Daniel and just clawing at him as it holds onto its flame charger. You knock it to the floor with your cane.
Yep.
But you pick 2 from the confront list, which is their counterattack hits you harder than you expected. They disengage, reposition, or attack someone else, or their power infects you, mark a shroud.
I'll mark a shroud and then the foe disengages, repositions, or attacks another rebel.
Okay. Okay, so I think you knock it to the floor, and it is, knocked back, so there is an opening now on it. But it sort of skitters around, circling your group, and sort of faces up against Benjamin at the back. Because, Simon is sort of slightly smoking from its clawing, and it wants to get away from you. Meanwhile, deeper into the heart of the maze, Trin. You can see this sort of mechanic. She's working on the thing and trying to sort of get it to work. You can see that she's sort of bandaged up in places, singed in others.
You seem to be having technical difficulties.
You could say that again.
Oh, well, do you mind if I take a look? Maybe I
Sure.
can help you out. Do I have any sense
any
of
help.
what this, how to work this? Well, I'm a hacker, so maybe that might help me a little bit. I don't know if it helps me here.
Let me see. What castle moves have you got?
Could be kind of like, yeah. By the way, do I have any trace, or is there any trace left?
There is one, yeah. But I'm just thinking, you do have sun powers as well, given that is your crew covenant. And in particular, you can bring out the light within to illuminate the area and pick out useful things with the light of truth.
Light of truth. Where are you seeing that?
Castle move under sun. Scroll up.
Castle move under sun. Oh, okay. I see it. Warm yellow light. Pick one. Burn away the illusions in shadow. So what would I be doing with that? Burn away the illusions in shadow, maybe?
I was thinking the light illuminates something useful to you.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So I roll plus sun.
Yeah.
Sun is what, 1?
Yep, at the moment.
Okay. It's unbelievable, these rolls. Okay, that's an 11.
Okay. So what does this look like? How does your sunlight manifest?
Could I use my spray can for that? Maybe it's got like a...
Yeah, sure.
Just for the fiction, it's kind of cool. So instead of a flame, I like flip the top of it, so it's like a setting switch, and I just spray out light from this thing.
Okay.
And it's like... I'm trying to think of what it could be visually. What's that thing in the films where they like put like a film over something, and then it shows up all the little like UV
Oh yeah. Like bio. Oh, what's it called?
bioluminescence, not
Yeah.
bioluminescence. It was, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I
right?
know the thing.
So all these things start showing up in the light that we couldn't see with the visible eye, but with the
Yeah, that's really cool. Like, it illuminates the sort of edge of a panel, I think. And she's like, and just sort of gets the screwdriver out and pries it open, and there are sort of actual controls in there, and she starts fiddling with. And the sort of pace of like electrical bolts coming out of this thing and exploding machinery immediately slows down.
Oh, great. It looks like things are... What is this for anyway?
I don't fucking know.
Yeah. Well, at least it's fixed, right?
Yeah. So, Benjamin, you have a little spark dog menacing you. Just
Sure.
sort of
Well,
crackling barks at you.
I have a great plan, and I have an opening. So what I am going to do is I'll pick up like I have a metal like pipe or whatever that I'm holding, and then as the creature like jumps into it, I like slam it into the ground.
That sounds good. I mean, your scepter would work for that.
Yeah, okay, that works perfectly. Yeah, I'll attempt to yeah. So I'm attempting to exploit an opening with coins here.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Go for it.
All right, and I will, I guess, use my own advantage. Am I allowed to use advantage for my own plan?
Yeah, sure.
Cool.
It's your own plan.
Great plan. This is very odd. I think that I'm screwing up here. Okay. That is a 10.
Excellent. Okay, so you just smash down into it and destroy it. It sort of earths into the... So it sort of warps as your scepter passes through it, and then the moment the scepter hits the ground, it just sort of pours down into the surrounding area. There's a sort of flash, and the sort of earth here sort of singes, and then it's gone.
By the way, full disclosure, I realized I've been accidentally cheating a bit on my previous roll because I was hitting highlighting stuff and hitting submit instead of reroll. I was like, it's the same thing again. But then when it happened this time, I was like, something's wrong.
Yeah, I don't see your dice on here.
They're way over on the right.
Oh, on the right. Oh god, I needed to scroll right. It was too. There we go. Excellent. Yeah. Okay. Browser extended. I now see everyone. Hooray! Okay. So the creature is dealt with, and yeah, the three of you can sort of make your way to the center of the maze if you wish.
Cool. Where we find our friend has already set up shop.
Yeah. So this this mechanic, she's got her arms sort of deep in the bowels of the machine. She's like, I think I can shut this thing down. God knows if that's what we want, though.
Hey, what could possibly go wrong?
Okay. All right. She just pulls out a sort of fistful of like cabling, and the great humming device goes completely silent, and then just all the lights in this place shut off, and you're in complete darkness and silence. And the silence really sort of makes you realize how thunderously loud it had been in here.
Oh, that's a relief.
So I've established at the beginning that I was bringing a flashlight.
Yeah, you did.
And I'm going to use that.
That sounds fair.
Very convenient.
You can light it up, and yeah, there is peace for a brief moment.
I don't like the word brief.
I say to this woman, I'm Trin.
Oh,
these are my friends here.
Hey, Gabrielle.
Gabrielle.
Yeah, meant to be working on. Don't know, this station, or
I think you earned. I think you earned yourself a lunch break.
Yeah.
At any rate.
How about we go and find like a break room or something? There's got to be one of those around here somewhere, right?
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure you can find one. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Does someone want to search for shelter?
Yeah, I'll do that. Need my flashlight.
Does someone want to help and give him an advantage?
Yeah.
I'll help.
All right.
So it's 7.
Excellent. Cool. Oh, because your ones is -1.
Oh, my one's -1.
No, your ones is
No.
0. Your one's 0.
It's 0. Yes.
Wait, because I can see.
Oh, I re-put back the dice I took from Ari.
Oh, right.
So it's
Yeah.
like this
Okay.
is the top row.
Yes. Oh, right. Okay. Cool. So yeah, that's enough. That made a difference. So
Yes, it did.
you find a safe space to recover. On a hit, each rebel picks one. Treat another rebel. That should say they heal their lightest wound. Encourage another rebel so they get advantage on the next move, or use your playbook's shelter move. Which I did not paste across, but you should be able to see them. It's on the second page before the mundane life sort of section. But actually, first up, why don't you describe what this shelter you find is like?
It's very literally a break room. There's a small table with a coffee machine with styrofoam cups, a one TV that probably just playing sports. Don't know which kind, just sports.
Okay. Occasionally, announcers shout something that the crowd seem to like.
Yeah. Like flimsy, foldable chairs. There you go, break room.
All right, so pick what shelter option you're going with, and we'll go around.
I don't know. I will encourage someone.
Who are you encouraging?
I think I'll encourage Trin.
Okay.
They did a good job. Got this situation under control.
Is that what you say?
Yeah. Why not?
Oh,
Okay.
Thanks, Benjamin. Really appreciate that.
Kids grow up so fast.
So I mark. What do I mark?
You just have advantage on your next roll.
Awesome. Okay, I'll remember that.
Good.
All right. I'll try to look around the break room if there's anything I can have to glean information. So that means I'm using my shelter move. I asked the architect what dangers will be the most on the lookout for.
Okay, cool. I think so. We've established that you need to take a train to where Sergeant Carter is.
Mhm.
I think what you've got to look out for is that electricity is going to become more and more a pressing issue. Is get deep into the heart of this. Like you can see that the notice board in here is just like covered in electrical safety violation notices, that sort of thing. And there's actually a map of the electrical systems there pinned up. And as you look closer, it looks more and more like a circulatory system with a big generator and wiring sort of thing in the shape of a heart in the center of it. And that's where you need to be.
All right.
The heart of Herbert Carter.
Exactly.
The electrical mingle heart of Herbert Carter.
Yes. All right. Frankie, what are you doing with your as you take a rest?
I'm going to encourage.
Okay.
Who was it that pulled out the charger?
Daniel.
Daniel, I'm just gonna say, that wasn't a problem that you did that and it jumped towards us and everything. It was a really smart idea and everything. And you just,
trying to salvage. Yeah. Okay.
Try salvage my pride.
Yep.
Oh, so for what it's worth, Daniel, you do have 2 minor wound slots, so you can just have
he
two.
had. I didn't know he had. Did he have wounds?
Yeah,
Oh,
I have two wounds.
He
Oh,
got
that-
gooped with acid slime, and he got shocked by an electrical spirit.
So that could have done the healing move, right?
Yeah, he could have.
Mhm. Yeah, that would be much appreciated.
Yeah, I'll do that. Yep.
Okay. So you heal your lightest wound, Daniel.
So minor wound.
What's little acid and slime? I mean,
Yeah, between friends. And Trin, what are you doing with your time here?
I think I'll trigger my shelter move.
Okay.
Let's see, roll 2d6. It's just a 2d6 flat roll. Okay,
Yep.
let's go
As
for
you
it.
submerge your mind in the shifting chaos of the labyrinth.
Yeah, something I do very often.
Yeah, sounds fun.
6, 7, 8.
Oh yeah, because you have advantage on this, don't you? Yeah.
Oh, I only rolled 2 dice.
Oh yeah. It's 2d6 technically. This isn't a sort of normal roll.
Okay, so should I roll a third die or no?
No, just the two
Okay.
dice.
Okay, so saving the advantage for
Yeah,
the
your next
thing.
problem.
Okay. Anyway, so I gain a trace. So
Okay.
on 7 plus gain a trace. Yeah.
Excellent.
So we gain a trace. So now we have what, 2 trace or is it 1?
Exactly.
Okay.
I'll add another.
We're short of one.
Yes. So tell the group what you understand better about either this this place or the vassal.
I think that there's electrical cabling, right?
Okay.
And there's a lot of electric activity, and it does seem like it might be going to the heart as well. I think that we find like a cable bundle that is kind of unusual, and we think that maybe that if we follow that, that'll get us where we need to go.
Okay. So does this look like you sort of like concentrating on that wiring diagram on the board and just trying to sort of
Yeah, that's cool.
absorb it
On the panel? Yeah.
Yeah, if that
All
means
right.
the heart, this is the veins, so we can follow it.
Oh, I like that.
Excellent. Okay. So and yeah, also Gabrielle is here.
Yeah.
She sort of made herself a terrible coffee from the terrible coffee machine.
Yeah.
It should have like a greasy aftertaste.
Ugh, yeah, well, definitely.
I don't mean to rush your coffee, but maybe you might be better off with us instead of going back to that horrible room.
Yeah, I'm beginning to suspect that might be the case. What the hell is this place?
We're sort of working that out, but
I mean, like, is it Halloween out there? What's up with you folks?
It's a long story. But if you get that coffee to go, maybe we can explain some of that along the way.
All right. Gee,
You don't happen to know a Sergeant Herbert Carter, would you?
that asshole?
Yeah, the
What about him?
You know him, huh?
Yeah, he recently started treating the station I work at like it's his own private kingdom.
Yeah. Have you seen him around here?
No, I like weird as shit. Like occasionally, like they'll start talking about like the king passing through, and I just like hide when that happens because this place, I don't want to meet whoever's in charge.
Well, there's only one king in this group, and I point to our playing card with the scepter.
Good boy.
Yeah, that's a nice costume.
Unless the sergeant was promoted to regent, but that doesn't really jive with me.
I'm not afraid to defend my throne.
Well, why don't we go meet this so-called king then? This pretender.
Yeah.
Let's do it. All right, so you leave this. She sort of just knocks back the coffee, chucks the cup in the garbage bin, and it's like, yeah, all right, lead on. Who is going first?
I'll go first this time.
Oh, I like
Okay.
it.
Excellent. How many shrouds you marking?
One more.
Okay. So you're rolling +1. Oof. Well, good job you got the 1.
Yeah.
Okay. So that is a 7. So that's a hit. Say what you understand better about this place, and we gain a trace. And then you pick one from the list below.
So it's you mentioned it was like leading towards a heart. So the halls are varying sizes, and we just need to look for the largest hallway, the widest hallway, and that'll lead into the heart.
Sounds about good. Right, the aorta.
And what was the other thing that I do?
You pick one from the list on Travel the Labyrinth.
Yep, travel.
We're really getting into this anatomical metaphor.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
And I'll see what's in the area before entering it, or we will.
Okay, cool. But there won't necessarily be anything valuable. You won't necessarily be able to leave it, and there probably won't be a potential ally. Okay, cool. I can work with that. So I think, yeah, you're following this vivid purple bundle of cables that is taking you directly to the heart, and eventually it takes you not into a corridor, but into a sort of like crawl space. You have to follow it through, and it's tight and it's narrow, and you follow the cable through sort of twists and turns, and it feels like forever until eventually there's a hole in the crawl space and the cable goes down, and below you can see what can you see? Yeah, it's a control room like you would have for the sort of whole sort of network. There are sort of banks of consoles with lots of little flashing lights on them, maps of the subway network, and it is like forming that heart map, that circulatory system that you know. There are those ooze figures like the one that was in the kiosk, sort of sitting at desks in this place, pressing the buttons and leaving greasy stains upon them. Then it looks like the cable goes down into here.
I say we head in, folks.
All right.
I'm heading in.
What form does that look like? You'd have to sort of, as you sort of drop through this hole in the ceiling.
It's kind of like a flap, just like we're heading into the, I guess the right aorta. And,
okay.
We fall in, and the room is very sponge-like. The walls and the floor surfaces.
Gross. Excellent. Yeah, I love it.
Heart, don't blame me.
Yep. So you drop down to this like weirdly spongy floor surface. Like maybe you drop down onto one of those consoles and it actually sort of bends underneath you in a way it probably shouldn't. And the all the grease figures in the room sort of look up at you, like the one that was sitting at the console that you landed on sort of staggers back from its chair clattering to the floor, and it reaches an arm out towards you and goes "Rawr." It doesn't make any noise, but its mouth opens, and it's horrid. And those of you up above, you can see them all sort of pointing at Frankie and just looking at them, and then start advancing towards them. What do you do, Frankie?
I'm going to use my cane to try to trip up the one that's reaching out for me.
Okay.
Spin out of its way.
So your goal is your goal just to avoid it here, or
yeah, to get out of its way.
okay. Give me a wands roll then.
An 11.
Excellent. So pick 2 from the dodge list. You avoid taking harm, you avoid getting separated from the others, or the foe is heedless in pursuit of you.
I avoid getting separated from the others or losing something valuable, and the foes heedless in pursuit of you create an opening.
Okay. So I think, yeah, you can dodge away from this first attack, but you're trying to sort of make sure that you're in easy reach of the others, so it becomes progressively harder and harder to dodge their flailing as you're trying to sort of stay in this one area, particularly as more and more of them start converging on you. And so, you get a touch here, a swipe there, as the blows start making contact. So a minor wound for you.
All right.
And you can decide with a minor wound to either mark static or get knocked back and have to recover.
And then what's the effect of static again?
Oh, sorry, not static, shrouds. When you get 5, your shadow goes up, which gets you more power, but at a cost.
I'll mark shroud.
Sounds like a good idea, honestly.
All right.
All right. So you have managed to sort of pull all of the creatures towards you, and they are sort of like thronging underneath this pit and underneath this hole in the ceiling, and all their attention is focused on you, which will give one of the people waiting above an opening. Who wants to take advantage of it?
If you don't mind, I would like to.
Okay. What are you doing?
Well, trying to find a better way than just jumping down and attacking, because I'm bad at swords. But I guess that'll be it. I'll drop from the ceiling, firing my handgun at the one he just tripped, trying to be on top of it.
Okay. The one they just tripped, technically.
Yeah.
All right. So you drop down and start firing into the crowd. Give me a swords roll as you strike at them.
Nine.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Right. So you can either get rid of their mass of mini. There's either you can get rid of the fact that there's a lot of them, or you can get rid of the fact that they have this sort of lingering acid touch.
Okay, I'm putting my hand wrong. Okay, I will take care of the fact that I think the mass of them will make more sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I drop down, I shoot a lot of them. Most
Okay.
of them do not come back up.
Okay.
Perfect. I'm gonna hop down. Sorry, dude.
I do get to pick a response, however, because that was a 7 to 9. So I think what happens is that so you drop down and shoot down a bunch of these creatures, and there's only like a couple surviving, and one of them just sort of turns towards you, Daniel, and launches itself at you and tackles you from off the top of this console and onto the floor. And it's not like eating through you just yet. I mean, it's eating through your exterior clothing that isn't hurting you, but it's sort of pinning you down on the floor.
Okay.
So, Benjamin.
Okay, so how many do you say there were left?
Like 2, I'll say.
Okay. And the power at next you'll say, they need to be able to like understand English in order for that power to work on them?
Yeah, but they do.
Okay. Yeah, so I guess what I'm going to do is hop down and say to the one that's on top of Simon, now you're outnumbered. This is the part where you run away. And
Okay.
I'll try and use my power.
Yeah, give me a coin throw. Let's get used to it.
That is a 10.
Excellent.
And okay, reveal a trap you set up to take advantage of your prediction. It'll take out a minion or create an opening on adversary if they do what you predicted. Okay.
What's your trap?
Trap. Okay. So if it does what I predicted, then that takes care of that monster. So what I would like is this trap that would do with the other monster. I'm trying to think of what that might be. I think
Maybe
I think what's going on is just that we're drawing it that monster's attention to us, like the monster that's still free, and so one of you guys can sneak up on him.
Okay. So yep, I can say that it sort of leaps off Daniel and starts like herring off out of this place. And meanwhile, Gabrielle sneaks up behind the other one and just caves in its goopy skull with her wrench.
Good times.
Excellent. So
I'm glad we brought her along.
yeah, and she starts sort of like cleaning it off on the sort of institutional carpet of this place.
Okay, I have a question.
Go for it.
My radical empathy move.
Yes.
Could I use it right now, or did I miss the chance of?
You did not have the chance to inflict a
Okay.
killing blow on it.
All right, perfect. That was a question.
It's like if you were about to sort of
Yeah,
destroy it.
That's what I figured. That's why I said I played my card right. I actually have let somebody else go first.
Yeah. Otherwise, yeah, you could have got a goop friend.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. All right. So here you are in this control center. And yeah, technically you have enough traces that if you wanted to, you could travel to the heart of this shard by spending them.
Where's the list of things that we can do with traces?
That's under find shelter, because technically you need to find shelter first and then spend them to leave from there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, one traces gets you somewhere we already been. 2 traces somewhere that's important to the vessel, and 3 is in the heart.
All right. Should we go? Is there something we're waiting for?
I don't think so.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right. So basically, we take our maps and charts and everything with the knowledge we've gathered in this foray and push the right levers. Get the tracks on the right configuration to clear the way.
Yeah. Excellent.
Question about finding shelter. When you go back to a shelter that you've already been to or you already previously found, do you have to make the move again? And
yeah.
Okay, cool.
It's more about the process of getting to a shelter sort of thing than it is. Right. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I'll just say you can spend the 3 traces to you, as you say, you work out from this control center the way to realign the train lines. You sort of get out of here onto a platform that's near it and onto a train. This one isn't like covered in grease and people pressed to the walls on the inside. And you can just sort of take a moment, take your weight off, sit on the seats and watch these sort of lights flash by as you get closer and closer to the heart. And eventually you reach it. The cabin is filled with blue sort of flickering light as you pass out of the tunnel and into an open area, and it sort of screeches to a stop, this train. The doors open, and your eyes have begun to adjust to the light, and you're in what seems like a sort of, well, a nexus of train lines. There's this sort of big turntable that your train is on, and it's sort of slowly rotating, but its doors are open, and there's electricity crackling above you. This is the heart of the shard. And yeah, you'll need to draw the guy's attention to summon him. What do you do?
Sergeant Herbert Carter, you are under arrest.
Speak. Sorry.
Okay. Is there like a intercom or something like that?
Maybe. Actually, I'm just reminded that you do have those newspapers.
Yes.
That are all about forcing recognition
Mm-hmm.
on someone, and you could tap into that if you wanted.
Yeah. That from my reading of the materials, I see that we need a key to summon the vassal here.
Yeah.
But I have no idea how to translate this token to a key.
We can just do that. It's
Okay,
one shot.
perfect.
So yeah, you can use those. You can sort of push your mind. You can sort of force them to turn into a papers recognizing you.
Okay.
And forcing him in turn to recognize you.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that wasn't what I had in mind, but perfect.
I mean, what would you like to do?
Well, actually wanted to provoke him, like calling out Sergeant what's his name.
Okay, Sergeant Herbert Carter.
No, I know, but
but you're saying like, oh right, yeah. You're like, you're just rubbishing him, like,
exactly.
Don't even know your name, man. Excellent. Okay, so is this just like you sort of reading loudly from the newspapers and just like mocking the person, or what does it look like?
Well, that's a great idea.
Okay.
Just reading passage and making like comments about how mundane and repetitive everything is.
Okay.
Like trying to bring back to the faceless officer that he is supposed to be.
Okay. Cool. All right. So you keep sort of shouting. You sort of like speaking this out into this heart, and the electricity crackling above you sort of starts crackling more powerfully and fiercely until it sort of converges in a sort of ball above you, above the that train that's sort of rotating on the turntable that you arrived here on. And then lightning strikes it in the center, sort of smashing the train, striking it again and again and again and again. And, you know, you folks can sort of retreat back from this. But eventually the sort of debris clears. And in the center of the turntable where the train was is a towering, well, officer, at least sort of 10, 12 feet tall, made of, well, covered in this sort of metallic brass armor, but sort of dressed in the sort of police officer's dress uniform. And electricity is just sort of, actually copper armor, let's say. It seems more plausible. Electricity from above is just earthing into him, just striking him and again, and he sort of picks himself up and points at you, Daniel, and says, "You mock me in the heart of this place? I'll show you who I am. You'll fear me." And then with from his extended arm, a ball of electricity, the full power of the third rail, strikes out towards you in an arcing bolt of electricity. What do you do?
Oh, you're muted.
Yeah, I'll duck out the way.
Okay, give me a dodge roll.
We have no trace left, right?
No traces. No, you spent them
Okay.
all. I should get rid of this. Okay. Oh, no, not clear. Shit.
6.
Oh, dear.
There's a lot of like empty void around the area we're in, correct?
Yeah. So it's sort of like a train yard. So there are a
Mhm.
few sort of train carriages sort of scattered about. There's machinery and cleaning equipment and gear sort of scattered around. But yeah,
Okay, so regular train yard and then big giant dude.
yes.
Okay.
All right. So you do not avoid the giant lightning bolt. Sorry. So I am going to ask you to take a major wound.
Ow. So major, and
so-
what does this one do?
When you take a major wound,
Major
you
wound.
can either frenzy to get advantage on your next attack, or play possum and make the foe focus on someone else.
Think I'll play possum for now.
Okay. So you're like the bolt hits your chest and sends you flying across the arena as it arcs into you, and then you land on the floor and just go still for a bit. And the gleaming figure of the copper officer is just sort of bellows out, You see what happens to all who mock me? I am the king of the rails. And just sort of points to the remaining 4 of you, I guess, because it's Gabrielle here, and say, kneel or face my wrath.
Are you kidding me? That's the real king.
Yeah, I'm not gonna kneel. Okay, I'm gonna try and use tactical genius. He's drawing
Okay.
power from the third rail. If we can shut it off, he's just a puppet. Cut his strings.
Excellent. That's really cool. Roll plus coins.
Sooner or later, my luck is going to run out here, but not yet. That is a 10.
Excellent. So you get
as,
3
as
hold.
you all are my witness.
Yeah. You get 3 hold that you can spend to add advantage to someone's roll after they've rolled.
Okay, sweet. Well,
all right.
I will use that as appropriate.
All right.
Okay.
Does someone? Right. Go for it.
Yeah, I'd like to take a shot. I have an advantage that I haven't used.
It's true. What are you doing?
I'm going to line up my rifle and take a shot at this big brass officer.
So you size them up to locate a weak spot. So roll plus coins with advantage.
Okay. Roll plus coins. What do we got for coins? 1. Okay.
It's your best stat.
Plus advantage. So I'll go ahead and roll these 2 first, and then add a third die. All right.
Sounds good.
So far it's a
2 and a 4.
6. 1, 2, 3. 1 more die.
Nice.
9.
Plus 1 from your coins.
10.
Excellent. So you find an opening. Say where it's coming from. The environment, a chink in their armor, a flaw in their fighting style.
Choose one.
Yeah.
There's there's a rail here that if he steps on, then he's going to kind of explode if he puts his foot on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and sort of overload the electrical systems.
Yeah. So he's got his foot on one of the rails now, and he hasn't stepped on a second one. But if he does,
Okay.
yeah, if he steps on that other one, he's
All right.
going to kind of go in a loop.
And you have to pick one of the downsides under line it up. So either they send an attack your way, the opening only lasts a few moments, or they see you coming and you'll have disadvantage using this opening.
I'll take an attack coming my way.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, because I haven't been hurt yet.
I think could send electricity, but he has other tricks. So in fact, he'll probably say that. He says, you think the electricity of this place is my only power? I control it all, the gates and the turnstiles, the doors and the fixtures. It is all my authority. and he sort of clicks his fingers, and sort of great copper gates and doors just sort of fall down from the sky in front of you, just sort of walling you off from him and from your friends.
Okay, so I'm kind of confined by this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I say, I'm not impressed.
Frankie and Benjamin, what you doing?
I'm going to his electricity may not be his only power, but it's definitely an important part of it. So I'm going to try and look around and see if I can spot at least either like where the electricity is flowing from, or at least if it's coming from like another location entirely, at least what direction, so that I can try and get something in between it and him.
Well, it's probably coming from that great sparking mass in the ceiling, a whole sort of mess of cables that is sort of just sparking electricity between itself.
Is there anything like a control panel or?
I mean, you can certainly line it up to try and find that weak spot.
That is exactly what I would like
Yeah.
to do. Interesting. So that'll be all right. I will continue to roll my one good stat, coins.
Yeah.
But at last, my luck has run out. That is a. But I'm going to use my advantage.
Okay.
My post hoc advantage. Daniel, I'm taking one of your dice. Come on, no whammies. Ooh, a 6. Okay, so that actually brings us from a 5 to a 9.
Oh, excellent! Powerful.
Strong ability.
Yeah. So where's the opening coming from? I guess control panel.
Yeah, we'll say that there's just like there's like a connection between there's like this like generator device and where it goes down to the rail yard itself.
Yeah.
And it's the whole thing has been like, it sounds like it's been like kludged together. It's just like
Definitely.
junky. And there is like a control panel, but like a kind of one made of junk with huge amounts of like exposed stuff.
Okay. And you pick 2 downsides. They send you an attack your way. It'll only last a few moments, or you'll have disadvantage using it because they've seen you coming.
Let's pick the opening only lasts a few minutes and the foe sends an attack my way.
Okay. Cool. They're just going to use the lashing out with electricity on you.
Okay.
They're like, a rival king? If you will not kneel, then die. And yeah, electricity boils out towards you. Arcing across the ground and shooting at you.
Yeah, I'll try to roll out of the way if I have the opportunity.
All right. Just out of interest, Frankie, what are you doing at this point? As electricity is surging towards.
So the electricity is surging towards
Benjamin.
I'm actually going to swipe my cane underneath Benjamin's legs so that the electricity, the jolt of electricity travels over him as I knock him down.
Excellent. Is this you clashing with the attack, or is this you assisting his dodge? Oh, actually, no. This is Stand By Me, isn't it? This is pulling him out of danger.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that would be cups.
That would be cups.
And my cups is 0, right? Yep. Eight.
Okay. Yep. So yeah, you can pick one, and I assume you're going to pick they're rescued from danger.
Yeah.
All right. Nice. You do that. Benjamin, your back hits the floor with an oof, and you are... But the electricity passes harmlessly over you.
Thank you.
But now, the copper policeman, copper cop, I hadn't realised I was doing that. The Copper King, maybe that sounds good. Walks toward. It has noticed this control panel and is sort of walking towards it purposefully. Daniel, you've been sort of smoking on the ground for a while, but you've been faking at least a portion of that.
Yeah. As soon as I see the cup going to the control panel, I think I'll stand up and rush there, getting to it before him.
That sounds good. I think that's probably a feat of daring athletics. So give me a roll of ones.
Ones. Can never remember where my roll for party is on these windows. 4.
Yeah, why don't you take one of my advantage dice for my whole?
Thank you.
So you got 1 point left of that.
Yep.
6.
Wah, wah. We tried.
Okay. Cool.
Can you aid him? That's all. That's a 6, right?
Yes, but he's already had advantage.
Oh, that's right.
Sadly, and that's the sort of thing where you need to discuss it before rolling. The whole nice thing about Benjamin's thing is he can do it after you've rolled. Okay, so cool. You're running, and he just sort of waves his hand, and like suddenly just sort of erupting out of the ground in front of you is a turnstile that just sort of blocks your path and sort of trips you over as you
Clothesline by a turnstile.
Yep. And just sort of knocks you to the floor.
Nice.
And I think that does give him the time he needs to just reach into that panel and grab wires out of it and just sort of shove them into the massive wires on the wall next to him. And the opening is now gone as he sort of turns back to you. He's like, tricksy, clever. But I rule this place. Meanwhile, Trin, you've been... What have you been doing in this sort of prison of yours? Have you been trying to get out?
Yeah, trying to climb out of it. I have a question. We did create an opening twice, right?
Yep, there are 2 openings. Well, one now.
There's still one opening.
There's still the opening that if you can get him to put his feet on different lines, that'll earth it and overload the system.
So I need to get out of wherever this confinement is. Could I kind of climb out, maybe?
Yeah, give me a ones roll. They flow like water.
Flow like water. Delete this die and roll these 2. 10. I don't know what's going on tonight. I want to keep these incredible luck.
Okay, so you get to pick 2. You're where you need to be. You leave the danger behind, and you can bring another rebel with you.
Leave danger behind, and I'm going to be where I need to be.
Okay, where do you need to be?
I need to run out, roll on the ground on top of the track, and say, "Just end it! Just end it!" But I'm tricking him. I'm tricking him to try to step on me, and then I'm going to roll out of the way, and hopefully he puts his foot down.
Wow. Unfortunately, you don't have the move where you benefit particularly from trickery. But that's cool. Right. Interesting.
Would this be strike, maybe?
I guess so. Yeah, with stealth and guile. Yeah, that sounds like strike.
Okay.
Roll plus ones.
Plus ones. Wands is a 0. Okay, so it's just another flat roll. Anybody want to help? Can anyone help?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Like if Frankie, for example, wanted to shove the guy just as he stepped down to make sure he stepped on 2 rails.
Yep. I'm going to to push him.
I'm going to grab one of your yellow dice there, Frankie.
Yep.
All right. It's an 8 with the help. It's an 8.
Excellent. And your ones is 0, so yeah. you managed to damage one of his qualities. Good job. So yeah, you sort of, as you do, so he steps down and you just sort of roll out of the way as Frankie sort of shoves him to make sure that he steps on two of them. And as you predicted, the lightning surges out of him and through these rails, and there's a great sort of, well, thrumming of like the generator around here sort of thrum and whine and get an overload, and there's this huge sort of explosion above you and sparks rain down everywhere and the lights flicker off and then sort of red emergency lights flick on and he's like sort of groaning in pain. And I think actually what happens is that there's a big sort of pulse of electricity out of him, a sort of electromagnetic pulse that just knocks you back and scatters the weapons from your hands as you're all sort of flung away. And yeah, I think except for you, Trin, I think everyone is flung away except for you, he reaches down and grabs you and lifts you up because he's still like huge, and you can see from this close level, you can see that he is sort of a person underneath this sort of brass armor. You can sort of see eye holes and just sort of these bloodshot eyes staring out, and it's a bit like sort of a RoboCop face in that his sort of lower jaw is free, and you can just see that sort of black grease just sort of around his mouth and dripping out of it. And,
creepy.
Yeah. He says, "I'll see you rot in jail for this." And he sort of pulls up with a hand, and like a sort of pit opens up next to you with with bars across it and a gate that swings open, and he's getting ready to sort of throw you in. Everyone else, you've been sort of flung away by this pulse, but you're sort of picking yourself up, and you can see Trin kind of helpless and in this creature's grasp. Does anyone have a plan?
Well, I have a plan. I don't know if I have an immediate plan to help Trin though.
Fair.
Yes, sounds about the same thing for me.
Do your thing. Do your thing. You know.
All right. Well, so now that he no longer seems to be in charge of the electricity around here, I'm kind of interested in the old-fashioned, like, hit him with a train.
Yeah, I mean, what's the king? Same thing. He's on the rail now.
Yeah. It's true.
Sometimes simple is best.
All right. So you're looking for another one of those control consoles, then?
I'm actually trying to book it into the driver's car of.
Oh wow!
Train.
Okay, excellent.
Just like smash the window with my scepter and then like hop in.
Okay, yeah, sure. I think. Yeah, so that sounds like hurling your strength at the castle's obstacles. So give me a sword roll.
Well, here goes nothing, friends.
Is Daniel helping you?
Yeah, what's someone help me?
Yes. How can I help you though?
You can shoot the glass with your gun to weaken it first.
Yeah. Okay. Good idea.
Yeah.
Great. Wow, that is an 11. Roll a 12 and subtract 1.
Excellent. Yeah. So yeah, you can destroy an obstruction, i.e., the glass, and get behind the wheel of this train. Meanwhile, Trin, is there anything you can try and do to buy time?
Yeah, I could kind of like trash talk the King Copper.
Yeah.
And say like, yeah, you're not even in uniform. You can't arrest me.
Excellent. Yeah, I think that's confronting the foe with words instead of a weapon, but I'll still take it.
Confronting the foe. Yeah, trying to attack his ego maybe, or
Yeah.
just get him distracted so that these other guys can do something.
Yep.
All right, so roll plus swords. Swords is 0. All right. Just die back over here. Finally, I rolled badly. That's a 6.
Okay. I think that he just looks at you and says, I don't need a uniform. Do you see this crown? And he gestures to his hat, which now he looks at it is vaguely crown-like. And then he just sort of like overhand head slams you down into that pit.
Oh, that's painful.
It is. Take a major wound.
Okay.
So again, you have the choice of either frenzy or play possum.
Which one is frenzy? What does that do?
You get advantage on your next attack.
I'll take frenzy.
Okay. Right. So those two are behind the wheel of a train trying to get it started. Train is at the bottom of a pit. Frankie, what's up?
Is he aware of what they're doing with the train?
Not at the moment. It looks like he is sort of actually reaching across to the sort of gate across the pit and is, about to sort of like slam it shut.
Okay, so I'm going to try to distract him from doing that. I'll yell at him. I'll say, "Hey, you're not a king. You're not even a conductor. You're not even Thomas the Tank Engine. You're Percy. You're Percy. That's who you are."
Oh, that's amazing. I think that counts for ace up my sleeve, probably.
Yep.
So you can line it up with wands instead of coins.
Oh, I got a 7.
Well, that's good enough.
Still good enough. Yep.
All right. So you find an opening. I think it's coming from his ego, right?
Yeah.
It's like, what? Percy?
You're not even Percy. You're Clarice.
Oh, no. Right, so you pick 2 from the line it up list. He sends an attack your way, the opening only lasts a few moments, or he sees you coming and people have disadvantage using this.
I'll have him send an attack my way. And the opening only lasts a few moments for the other.
Okay. I think, yeah. What happens is like he just sort of reaches down and picks up a piece of rubble from the broken generators upstairs and just like hurls it over arm at you. It's sailing through the air towards you, this big sort of chunk of machinery. What'd you do?
I do my best dance moves to get out of the way. I've got my cane out. I got my hat on. I just do a Liza Minnelli dance.
All right. Give me a dodge.
Oops, wrong tab. I got a 4, so do not dodge well.
No, you get like a third of a generator to the face, which is another major wound. Weirdly enough,
major wound.
Oh no, wait, you already got a major wound, right? No, you don't. No, I was looking at Tran.
Yeah, I've got a minor, so
yeah. So major. And you have the same sort of play dead or frenzy sort of choice, but what are you thinking about that? People in the train. Yep. You have managed to get it started up. The adversary is standing on the train lines, having hurled this generator at Frankie. You got him in. the lights come up on the train, illuminating him.
Yeah. I'll turn to Benjamin and say, this is going to be ugly. I think you should step up and won't step down, and I shove you out of the train.
Okay.
So you're going to take the lead in this?
Yeah, I'm not only going to take the lead. I'm going to use the Tower's Castle move.
Hey, excellent. So you're going to mark your deadly wound
Mhm.
to
To
succeed with a 10+.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So I'm literally going to crash with the train.
Yes. Excellent. All right. So because you mark a deadly wound, you can either heal all wounds, but let the void into your soul, or collapse unconscious.
I think for a longer game, Drawn Darkness will be way more fun, but I'll just collapse.
Okay, fair enough.
That's the last shot.
So yes, you shove Benjamin out of the cabin and just jam the accelerator, and it's probably one of those sort of turny handle things. And this train just sort of like rockets down the line towards the Copper King, who sort of turns and sees you at the last moment as the sort of train just smashes into him and sends him flying. And there's huge wreckage, and like the train derails, and amazing. Do you want to get rid of his copper armor or his authority over the kingdom?
I think it's going to be the copper armor. Probably like he has his legs jammed under the train, and he has to physically remove himself from his armor to be able to continue fighting.
That sounds excellent. All right. Okay, 2 qualities down. And yeah, let me just check something. Sorry, I'll be right there. Okay. All right. So I think he sort of is pulling himself out of this copper armor, is sort of squeezing himself out, and as he's doing that, he's bleeding, but he's bleeding that grease, that sort of machinery oil. And as he sort of staggers away from the wreckage, the pools of it he leaves on the floor sort of start rising up into the forms of those grease creatures that you have been fighting. And they sort of start forming a defensive line around him as he sort of staggers away. He's sort of like in this badly rumpled and stained and torn cop's uniform. Frankie, no, actually no, Trin, you were at the bottom of a pit getting very angry when this big explosion happens above you. What's the plan?
I'm gonna try to crawl out to at least get like chest height if I can, and line up a shot with my rifle.
Okay.
Finish the cop off.
All right. Yeah, that sounds like a lining it up sort of thing. Give me a coin roll.
Okay. Coin. I have a 1 in coin. Okay. Barely. 7.
Okay. So where is the opening coming from?
The opening is these grease things that came off of him have kind of like put his attention towards lining it up between him and the rest of the group, but the pit is kind of like to side or behind him. So when I come up, he's vulnerable from line of sight from me. He can't even see me.
And what are the downsides that you pick? For what it's worth, remember that you got advantage on your next attack, which would cancel out disadvantage.
Okay, yeah. The disadvantage would be that maybe I fall back into the pit because I didn't come out completely.
I mean, so the one from the line it up,
Oh, let me see.
he either sends an attack your way, or the opening only lasts a few moments, or he sees you coming and it'll be tough to use.
Yeah, let's do last a few moments.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you'll cancel out the sees you coming one.
Right.
Okay.
So do I do for the shot, just do strike?
Yeah, that sounds like strike with precise insight.
Okay. Coins again. Got one in coins. Okay, here we go. 7.
Oh, God.
That's
You just
barely.
eke it out.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, so you line up that precise shot, and it goes through. His minions aren't in the way to block it, and it goes right through his chest. He staggers back, collapses, vomiting up that sort of black grease, and just expires.
I just kind of crawl out and fall back.
Yes.
I just, this guy.
And yeah, so Benjamin, you're the one sort of perfectly fine. You're standing and like perfectly fine. What are you doing to rally your group together?
I think I'm just gonna run over to whoever seems to be the most in the worst shape and try and help them to their feet.
I think that's everyone except you.
Yeah, I know.
Daniel is the one with the deadly wound marked.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
I'll go to Daniel, and I'm gonna, I still have a mundane item that can be superpowered.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say I have a med kit.
Okay.
So
sure. Yeah.
it's but now it's like I don't know.
Just one of those sprays, the way you spray it on them, and then they feel better somehow.
Sure. Or actually maybe even something a little more magic realist. Like I just open up the med kit and the kind of things scamper out Beauty and the Beast style and just start doing the work themselves.
Okay, that sounds cool. Yeah. So yeah, I'll say that Daniel, you can be restored to consciousness. I mean, you're still in a heck of a lot of pain, but you're okay.
Did we win?
You're a goddamn fool, Daniel. I'm an old man. I don't have a lot of years left. You're young. If one of us needs to stay in the train, it should be me.
And the other two of you, Trin and Frankie, can sort of, crawl back to health here. But you can see there's a light. There's a sparking light above you. A sort of pulsing blue heart in the top of the this chamber that sort of slowly descends, this sort of pulsing electrical heart, and it seems like this is the sort of the core of this place, the root of this place, ready, and now unclaimed. Does anyone want to take it?
What is this stuff? What do these do? What do we know about this kind of thing?
Taking this will grant you authority over this place, and you can use the power for something.
Is that inherent
authority?
Is this inherently corrupting and evil, or just regular?
It's slightly corrupting and evil.
I don't need to be King Subway Cop.
Well, just King Subway. He was a cop part.
Is anyone going? Okay,
yeah, I'll take it.
All right. In which case, Trin, you get to pick one of the options under Rivers in the Desert.
Best move.
Yeah. So either you reform Sergeant Herbert Carter, or you pick a neighborhood of your city and make it nicer, or you heal something long-term infliction on you or one of your friends, or you rise in station in the mundane world.
Yeah, I'm going to go with urban. Was it? Yeah,
urban renewal.
Yeah, and I'm gonna revamp the jazz district and get my buddy with the violin a top spot plum position and out of poverty, hopefully.
Excellent. Great. So, cool. This whole place sort of echoes that you sort of grab that pulsing electrical heart and it sort of surges through you and out. And that there's a flash of light that leaves this place dark. And then your eyes adjust and you're just in a sort of a flat, basic plane, a sort of empty grey room with a door.
Whew, well, I'm glad we took care of that.
And heading out of there, you step back into the mundane world.
I don't know how many more of those I have in me.
And yes, Sergeant Herb Carter is disgraced. The power burns out of him and leaves him a hollow shell of a man, forever unable to... No one will remember his name. You turn this district into somewhere bustling and appreciating the arts. And you spend a while, I guess, dealing with the horrible side effects of being in train crashes and having generators thrown at you, etc. And tend to your mundane lives and wait for the next time that you do this again. Thanks for playing, everyone. That was really good fun.
Yes.
I would have helped the cop, but Donald Nelson needed it more.
Yeah,
That's absolutely fair.
You did the right thing.
Yeah.
Thanks for running.
Yeah.
Yeah, this
That
was
was great.
a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I like the various move sets.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think the mundane investigation slides is going to be my focus for the next rules pass, just sort of tightening that up a bit so that the moves work a bit better. As I say, I've been doing some of that today, doing some writing. But yeah, thank you very much. This was very good fun. It is 20 to midnight here, so I will be shooting off.
Whoa.
But
Yeah, catch some C's. Thanks
Yeah,
for hustling and running this for us. Appreciate it very
Yeah.
much.
Yeah, thanks
And,
for
you know-
running. And really, thanks for the game. I love everything about this game.
I'm looking forward to the finished product. So
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, like,
Likewise.
if you... Yes. And
I'll be
obviously
watching
it is currently kickstarting now, which I have to say because, I'm putting
Yeah.
this up.
Already done.
Excellent. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you. And I'll end the broadcast there.